last game of the series for the Padres yesterday, 4-1. Brian Wu tagged with the loss, though he did get through 7. The third game in a row, a Mariners starter got through at least 7 innings, so that's good. Bats were cooler in this one, though. Just 4 hits, all from Naylor, Rosarena, and Rayleigh. Game 2 today at 6:40. Emerson Hancock on the mound. Pregame show at 5:30 on Seattle Sports.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. The NFL draft is 8 days away, a little earlier this year. And this morning brought us 3 new mock drafts, all from ESPN insiders. So let's go over them and figure out who some of the biggest names in the biz have going to Seattle. A couple of them are just at 32, and others look at the first several picks for Seattle. For instance, when we get to Dane Brugler, he published a full 7-round mock draft. Bump, you have looked up all the names we're going to talk about here, so let's dive into it. We're going to start with...
Can I say something first?
Oh, yeah.
I went to the USA-Japan game last night here at Lumen, and they said it was the biggest crowd for any women's sporting event. So big up Seattle for showing up. Like 40,000 people showed up. So just wanted to show Seattle some love.
No, I'm glad you did that. I'm glad.
All right, let's do it.
So the first is from Mel Kiper, who released a 2-round mock on ESPN. I'm going to ask you about both of these players. First at number 32, one that I already know you're going to co-sign. Jadarian Price, running back, Notre Dame. So we're going to start with this one. Yet another mock of Price to Seattle. Bump, is this a pick that absolutely makes sense that you love, or is this the result right now of kind of groupthink, where suddenly we all love the same player to Seattle at 32?
No, I think it's a little bit of both. I think this is a real possibility with Price here. I think that once some experts start talking about a certain player, everyone starts to watch film on him. You start to fall in love with him. And it makes sense because the Hawks definitely need a running back over here. This guy is 5'11", 209. He is thick, okay? 674 on the ground last year, 11 touchdowns, 6 yards per clip, 2 kickoffs to the house. If he were to come here, I'm not saying he's going to be used in the kick return game. We got that covered with Rashid and Horton over there locked down. But he could hold it down until Zach Charbonnet gets back. His lateral movement is elite. That sidestep, that R2, if you ever played video games, Stacey, on Madden,
I've played
you press R1, R2,
Madden.
or L2, and, do a little sidestep.
Yeah. I thought we were talking like maybe Mario Kart, Snowboard Kids.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you're about to hit the turn of Mario Kart and you jump, and you hit it hard, like that.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
I got you.
I got it.
Explosive runs at 58, 40, 32. He's good. If he weren't playing behind Love, who knows? He definitely going to put up like 1,000 yards. But if he weren't playing behind Love, he would get more love. But he stayed there at Notre Dame. And I think they understood. We spoke to someone that said they understood they don't want to beat their bodies up in college. So let's have the 1-2 combo. Beat your body up in the NFL. And I think NFL's doing a better job of taking care of running backs and have that 1-2 combo. But no, this is something that it started off as like a conversation, and then when Kiper and all these guys start making it a reality, people start watching and it makes sense.
Okay, my last question for you about this pick was going to be, what's he bringing that they don't already have, and what's the risk in moving on? I'm going to guess that's the answer, though, is that some of that explosiveness and quickness.
Yeah, I mean, Charbonnet can get loose. I think his biggest run of his career, I want to say off the top of my head, I don't know for sure, it's about 30 yards. Charbonnet is kind of like the bruiser. He can make you miss. He does have a little bit of burst, but Price has that top-end speed that Charbonnet doesn't have.
Okay, let's go to and then I can guess the answer to this one, but one thing I wanted to ask for all of the guys that we're going to go over is kind of like the risk in not taking this person. I think I know the answer, though, to this one.
I mean, this is obvious,
This
right?
one's obvious.
If you're a Hawks fan, you know what the risk is if you don't take this dude if he's available.
Right. You need running back depth. All right, let's get to Mel Kiper's second pick. This one at pick number 64 overall. He has cornerback Malik Muhammad out of Texas. Another corner to Seattle.
Yeah, another corner. And that's a position that it needs to be replenished. It needs to be replenished because of the departure of Reek Woolen. Obviously, you got Kobe Bryant, who's a safety. Right now, you got Josh Jobe. You have Nehemiah Pritchett as well. This is a guy who I think fits the style of play or personality that this defense has, right? Even if you weren't like a big talker on this defense, you played with a lot of passion and a lot of speed. And that's what I see out of this young man. What's the risk of not taking him is that you're losing depth at that position. Remember going into last year, we're looking at the quarterback spot and saying that room is deep, we're fine, and slowly but surely things start to change. Guys come in, guys leave. Kendricks, I think DeAnthony Bell is back at the safety spot though. But no, this is a depth move, and I like this dude because he feels the game. You can tell when a DB feels the game. It's like he's not influenced by the salesman that wide receivers are. Because what we do is we want to make guys believe we're doing something that ain't real, that's not there, right? My body language, I want to say I'm running by you, I'm going to break down. My body language is saying I'm running a slam but a sloppy, but I'm doing that. You jump on it, and I can go over the top. He's real patient. He doesn't get influenced by things, and he makes plays.
So like a high IQ kind of player, like really. And with Jadarian Price, it sounds like, okay, like he could bring this room something that they don't have.
Yeah.
Is this more of just bringing the room a body? Like it's not about them lacking that from players. It's just about depth.
It's about depth. I mean, he's a good ball player too.
Sure.
But this isn't a guy that you're going to expect to take someone's spot and start right now. But we did listen to John Schneider. He said he wants guys to come in with that mentality that I'm going to take your spot. Okay,
so again, all of these released today. This one from Mel Kiper, Jadarian Price at 32, running back out of Notre Dame to Seattle, and at 64, Texas corner Malik Muhammad. Let's go to Todd McShay at pick 32. He's got the Seattle Seahawks taking edge, TJ Parker out of Clemson. Another one I've seen mocked before. Edge, slightly less commonly mocked to Seattle. Not that it's not a deep group in this draft, but I think people have maybe been looking at a few other positions. Tell us about, first, TJ Parker.
This film was fun to watch. TJ Parker, 6'4", 263 pounds, ran a 4.68, 37 tackles. In his career, 3 seasons, he has 41.5 tackles for loss. 41.5. 5 sacks last year, 3 forced fumbles, and fumble recoveries. In 2024, he has 6 forced fumbles. You can see him. He's going after the football. And that's something that I feel like the NFL does now. When I was coming up, back in my day, they weren't really punching the football out like that. We were like trying to grab and strip. These young men now are going after the football. So my note was ball stripping with intention. This isn't by accident. He's doing this. And he's good at shooting with his inside shoulder. So say he's on the left side and they're running a counter his way. So for the offense, it'd be a counter right. For him, it'd be a left. You're pulling, you're guarding your tackle. You're trying to kick out the end and get that tackle up on the safety. And he does a good job of standing his ground, dipping that shoulder, keeping his balance, eyes in the backfield, and going after the football. And he's a hustle guy. You watch film and say a receiver catches the football down the field and he fumbles 20 yards down the field. Big number 3, TJ Parker is running down the field and scooping that up. There's a ball that's tipped in the air on the sideline. He's there. So not only is he a hustle guy, he's causing turnovers. TFLs for days. I thought I read that stat wrong. 41.5 TFLs in 3 seasons. I like this guy.
Now, Todd McShay did mention Jadarian Price, but he said this. He said, look, a lot of people are loving Price for Seattle. They lose Ken Walker. He's mocked like somewhere in the end of the first or probably in the upper second round, so it kind of makes sense. But he said, I just feel like that's kind of rich at 32. Like if Seattle's going to stay at 32 to take the second best running back who's mocked to go maybe in the 40s, I like an edge here. My question for you is more of one of positional value. What are the odds that someone like TJ Parker, because you've watched film on both of these guys, is maybe the more talented of the two overall, like the better, smarter choice overall? Are you going with the better player if you're going with an edge here as opposed to just, oh, you need a running back, so get a running back?
The tough part about that is, I've said this to you before, running back and D-line are the 2 positions in football right now. You can come in as a rookie and dominate. You can do your thing. It's so natural. I think that we're still at a crossroads with this position or with this pick because what is Uchenna going to do? What's D-Law going to do? Why not I would be okay if they made their strength even stronger, which is that defensive line. Totally fine with that because of what I just said. You can find running backs in the draft that are serviceable until Zach Charbonnet gets back. The smart thing to do would probably be get the best player out there overall, and it might be Parker. The responsible thing to do will go ahead and get yourself a running back because I think that Price has that big playability, and we're not sure what this room looks like. That's the dilemma that I'm stuck in with this right here. It's like, yeah, edge, make that D-line better, but who's your running back? And you hear John Schneider talk about, we believe in George and Kenny and all those guys. So it's tough. I'm probably still going running back, though.
Joel Klatt on with Brock and Salk, right? On with Brock and Salk, did talk about Bump, that exact same scenario where he said, look, 32 is probably a little early for Price and probably a little rich, but like he's also not going to be there when you draft in the 60s.
I think that, and the conversation becomes Jadarian Price from Notre Dame is clearly the second best running back in the draft. The problem with the running back position is that if you need a running back and you need that running back to potentially start this year, after Jadarian Price, there's like
nobody.
You ain't finding one.
Mm-hmm. Nope.
So it's going to artificially bump up his value.
So again, I think that is, I guarantee you, night one, when you guys are all over draft coverage, the number one conversation will be, okay, do you go with the position that you need? Granted, with a talented player, you just heard Joel say it. You've talked about it. Brock's talked about it with like, this guy could be a starter. He's wonderful. Drafted a little higher than he probably is on your board. Or do you go with someone else and take the risk that you don't get Price later? Let's go to another mock release this morning, our third. This from Dane Brugler of The Athletic. He published a full 7-round mock draft. He stayed put at 4 picks. It's just easier than planning trades. So I'm going to ask you about 4 different players here. We have not gotten to any of them. So these are 4 new names. Number 1 at pick 32, he likes corner for Seattle.
Entering the draft with 4 picks is something that I expect to change. Somehow, some way, they'll figure out a way to get an extra pick or two. Where it might be trading back at 32, a team looking to get back into the first round for that extra 5th-year option. But, yeah, it's something that I think will be a priority for this organization. But if they're stuck at 32 and there's the opportunity isn't there, I think they will have options, whether they want to go corner like a Colton Hood from Tennessee. I think that would make sense.
And he has Colton Hood in his latest mock going at Seattle to 30, or going at 32 to Seattle. Tell us about Colton.
Colton Hood, the only knock I have on him is that 3 different years he played for three different schools. Like, he's the modern college football player, but he's probably chasing that bag, so I can't be too mad at him. 6 foot, 193 pounds. He's aggressive, but he's patient. He loves to play at the line of scrimmage. When I watch the film on him, he gives you a big corner type of vibe. Like, he can reach you from 5 yards away. We look at his measurables. He's 6 foot, not small, but not big. We've seen bigger corners. He's aggressive, but he's patient. So he's aggressive with his approach to football. He's going to line up at the line of scrimmage and give you that press look. He will pressure you and put your hands on you every now and then, but he's patient with his feet. I mean, he's waiting for you, the receiver, to declare what you're going to do before he puts hands on you. Me as a receiver, I want you to be aggressive. I want you to take my first move and try to get hands on me because I have that counter. He does not do that. He also does not have any wasted movement. When it's time to flip the hips and go, he flips the hips and he goes. He will attack the football out there as well. This is a 6-foot corner that plays bigger than what he is and can put you to sleep with his perceived aggressiveness because he's patient.
All right. Next at pick 64 in the second round, he's got, is it Kieran Crawford, edge out of Auburn? Again, going with edge here. We can see we can see commonalities in the positions that mock drafts are prioritizing for Seattle: running back, cornerback, edge. Here we've got cornerback first as opposed to running back or edge. Edge second at 64 overall with Crawford. Do you want me to go through just the next 3 and then tell me a little bit about each of them?
All right.
Okay, let's do that because we've got 2 minutes or so here. So we've got Crawford at number 64. Mike Washington, running back out of Arkansas, who I think is intriguing at 96 with that 3rd-round pick. And then in the 6th round at 188, Robert Spears-Jennings, safety out of Oklahoma. What should we know about this group?
All right, so Crawford out of Auburn, edge, 6'4", 253 pounds, 36 tackles, 5 sacks, 5 interceptions. My quote for him was, he can bend the block and still adjust. So what I mean is bend the block. All right, he's that edge rusher. Tackles are going to try to widen him. He has good flexibility in his hips and his ankles where he can bend that block, and if that running back makes any type of adjustment, when that outside foot hits the ground, he's still able to adjust, which is hard to do because sometimes these big boys bend the block, get upfield a bit too much, and now they're done. That's not him, and he has receiver-type releases when he's one-on-one with those tackles. Next one, you said Robert Springs, right?
Mike Washington. Oh, no, you talked about Mike Washington, right? No, Mike Washington.
Yeah, Mike Washington. The more film I watch on Mike Washington, the more I like him.
Right.
When you said someone compared him to Chris Carson the other day,
Zerline
I looked at it and I'm like, yep,
Uh-huh.
that's it right there. Plays a little tall, but can lower those shoulders, does a good job getting outside, and he has a knack for him. If you're going to tackle him low, he's going to get those knees up and most likely break that tackle. If you don't get Price, I'm okay with Mike Washington. Completely fine with him.
I'm also just sold. My family's from Arkansas, so this is like a non-relevant thing to anyone else. But I like claim Arkansas, even though I never went there and no one in my family went there. It's just for no reason. I'm like, oh, one of my Razorbacks? Yeah, I'm totally fine with
That's
him
how
in
I feel about
96.
Mississippi State.
Exactly. You're like, no reason whatsoever.
Nah.
Okay,
right,
and then
last
Robert
one.
Spears-Jennings.
Robert Spears, all right, he's a 6'2", 205 nickel safety, ran a 4.3. He will get downhill and fill the gap. There's some guys, when you're getting downhill, you're trying to tackle the running back, they're going to chop their feet, which is fundamentally sound. But no, he's trying to knock you out. He is trying to knock you out. He has I broke down, he's a linear type of player. Like, he's not running around anybody. I'm going to run through you. I'm going to use my shoulder pass, and I'm good. And he's confident in the box. He's confident and he's comfortable in the box. We know that if you play safety here in Seattle, you got to be good in the box. Violent type of player, runs a 4.3, 6'2", 205, good size, linear type of player.
I'm already getting questions for you from listeners. Great evaluations, by the way. Let's get back to them in the 11 a.m. hour, because right now we got to get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, real
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news.
Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services.
With Bump and Stacy.
Headline number one. This news broke right as our show was ending yesterday, but Diana Russini announced her resignation from The Athletic on Tuesday. What's the real headline?
Why? What happened?
According to her, nothing.
What happened? Is there something someone's talking about?
This is the first I'm hearing of this.
Can I just say, look, there's this weird, delicate line you have to walk, because A, it's not like confirmed news that these two had an affair. It's just some like uncomfortable looking photos at an all adults resort in like a romantic Sedona setting. And so people are like, yo, this looks pretty bad. So there's lots of conversations. One of them is completely removed from Diana, and it's one that we'll have later in the show about just like how the information brokering space works in sports and women and men in sports, and they have to operate by different rules. I love that conversation. I could talk about it endlessly. When it comes to just Diana, Bump, look, if it were me and I didn't do this, I simply would have said it. And I get the approach of like, this is beneath me, I don't want to talk about it anymore. But like, you also didn't deny anything.
This reminds me of when I'm at home and I sign up for something, right, online. I'm like, yeah, I can use that service. Let me see. And I give them my information, right? And then they call me. Hey, is this Michael Bumpers? Yeah, this is Michael. Hey, are you still interested? And I'm thinking about, nah, I'm good. I don't want no parts of that. I want no parts of that. She just hung
Not
up
at
on
all.
everybody. She said, you know what? Not worth it. I'm going to hang up. This is unfortunate, man, because she's been in the game for a long time. And like I said before, her career is going to shift. Vrabel's going to be just fine. It's not fair, but that's just how the game goes, right? But you said it yesterday, the worst part about this is that the families are all jacked up. Right? Both people are married. It's all jacked up. This is messy.
I will say she's still a big name in sports, and even though she has parted ways with The Athletic and is not going to be working with The Athletic / New York Times anytime soon, I think that there's still an avenue for her to have like her own podcast or hop on another podcast. And I'm telling you right now, I know that it seems just kind of like scandalous paparazzi TMZ type stories. This is the biggest story in sports right now. It is a quiet period of the NFL. Curtis, you noted this, until the draft starts. They chose, like you said, the worst time to have this happen. I guarantee you, if Diana Russini hopped on with like Pardon My Take or some kind of podcast, it'd be one of the most listened to episodes. Like, people are dying for information on this. I don't think her career is over.
No.
Is there a double standard, though? We're going to talk about that later in the show. What's next?
Headline rewrites.
Headline number two, the Mariners fell 4-1 to the Padres in their series opener last night. What's the real headline?
God, we forgot to take into account that the Padres have actual big league pitching. I forgot that.
Yeah.
Dang it.
King was out there doing his thing.
Small
He's having
detail.
a decent season so far.
I overlooked it.
Miller is Miller. We all know who that man is.
He hasn't allowed a run since August 5th.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And then you said it during the show prep, like their Padres made some plays. And
They did.
I have the Mariners winning 7 in a row at some point this season. All right, they're at 5. Not going to get there. I'm not stressing right now. The bats got to square up. Tonight is what Vasquez on the mound
And Hancock.
and throwing a lot of four seams. And I'm looking at Julio's numbers. He loves the four seamer. So go ahead and then be yourself, Julio, and smack one.
Can I also say, we've, like royal we, have all been fairly critical of your biggest bats in the lineup having slow starts to the season, which is like statistically true. I know it's very, very early, but with a small amount of ABs here, it's true. That being said, I actually feel encouraged by some of what we're seeing from Julio. He laid off a slider the other day. Was that yesterday, right? In the first, has taken some key walks. Like, I actually have been more encouraged than not by him lately, but maybe I'm just trying to find positive things. I don't know. I'm feeling pretty good about Julio.
He's having more mature at bats. The results aren't happening the way that you want them to, but I don't feel like he's just completely fooled all the time.
Yeah.
Swinging too dang hard, falling over all the time. It looks a bit more controlled.
I totally agree. Laying off a couple. What's next?
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 3, Patriots quarterback Drake May called his Super Bowl loss to the Seahawks, quote, humbling. What's the real headline?
He's also the first New Englander to be humbled. That's new. That's
very
not
braggadocious.
Yeah, it's New England / Boston folks. They'll just Celtics in 5. Like, it doesn't. I'm shocked he didn't just immediately go to that.
Yeah, you watched that film. You bet your buddy was humbled.
Yeah.
Man, Mike McDonald had that man confused, showing blitz, not blitzing.
Rethinking your life choices.
Going. I mean, it was a rough day for Drake May. And if he becomes a regular, like, Pro Bowler, all-pro type of dude, he's going to look back at that Super Bowl and learn so much from that, because even me watching the film as someone who can stop and start and stop and start, and I'm trying to figure out what the heck Mike McDonald's doing and who's going and who's not. And I got 30 seconds to look at this dang play. He got 3 seconds to figure it out.
Yeah, good luck.
He's going to learn a lot from that.
Can I tell you one of my least favorite takes when it comes to the Super Bowl in general? And it's a hater take that, like, doesn't really matter. But it's the idea that because it was so lopsided in the matchup itself, that this was like I don't want to say Mickey Mouse Super Bowl, but that it's an easy win for Seattle. And it's like, okay, but you had to get there.
It was tight for a while.
It was, but also, like, the Seahawks were heavily favored. It was one of the most lopsided odds that I can remember heading into a Super Bowl, where, like, every single person we spoke to, and they were careful to say with us, look, this isn't just because I'm on with you guys and you're from Seattle. I genuinely, like, I don't see a world where the Patriots win this. That was by far the most common sentiment we got from guests heading into this one. You still had to get there. You had to beat the Rams to get there.
The second best team in the NFL.
You had to play the Rams 3 times. So in a 3-game series, you won 2. You won that series for the season. It's just, I don't know, man. It's a take. I'm kind of like, anytime we get back to the Super Bowl, you're going to hear people be like, Patriots were so bad. Seahawks were gifted that one. And it's like,
the Seahawks didn't get their first touchdown until the 4th quarter. It was field goal for days. Like, it wasn't back and forth, but it was tough for a while. But once it opened up, and the score was only 29-13.
And thank God you had that kicker.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say, Bump?
God.
Wouldn't you say that, like,
I mean,
what an important
love.
Where would they be without that kicker?
I've given him love.
Football player.
He should have been the MVP. I give him love.
No.
He should have been MVP.
Not over Ken.
Yeah, I if they picked him over Ken, I would not flinch at all. I was like, all right, yeah. And
I wouldn't have flinched.
Goals.
I wouldn't have 5.
5 of them
Super Bowl
things.
record. I wouldn't have flinched.
Super Bowl record. You just made the case right there.
Dang it. You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. Coming up next, one argument about the Mariners is falling flat.
After reaching the NFL's mountaintop,
the Seahawks win Super Bowl 60.
The work continues for the Seahawks to keep the foundation strong. It's the 2026 NFL Draft. Next Thursday, April 23rd. Only Seattle Sports begins its first-round draft coverage with a reigning NFL Executive of the Year.
Who are the real Seahawks?
The John Schneider Show at 4 p.m. with Brock Hewitt, Michael Bumpet, Steve Wyman, and host Bob Stelton live until 9 p.m. on Seattle Sports.
I had pain. I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Upgrade your comfort and cut energy costs with Lake Washington Windows. Get 20% off energy-efficient windows and doors, plus $1,000 off whole home projects. Enjoy 18 months, no payments, no interest. Schedule your estimate by April 15th at lakewashingtonwindows.com.
Well, this week's First Mark Challenge victory goes to Roger. Roger, why did you call First Mark Insurance?
Over the last several years, my homeowner's insurance policies just kept on going up and up and up. For years, it was $1,100. Last year, it was $2,500. And this year, $5,000. That's what got me to call First Mark Insurance.
Were they able to save you any money?
Absolutely. Within a couple of days, came up with a proposal that blew my socks off. It was an amazing amount of reduction in cost.
Did they improve your coverage while saving you all that money?
They did both. The coverage is better and the cost is substantially less. It's half as much as I was paying last year. I recommend First Mark to anyone who is looking to get better coverage at less cost.
Well, Roger did it. My family did it. And you got to do it. And it's totally free. Take the First Mark Challenge and see how much they can save you and how much better your coverage will get. Maybe you will be our next First Mark Challenge victory. Just go to firstmarkinsurance.com. First Mark Insurance. They work for you.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You need a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. Switch today. Get started with a great offer as low as $60 a month. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Offer ends 6/1/26. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet and security edge. 1-year agreement, eco-bill, and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
You can count on the Seattle Times for local news and information on your teams and your scores. Get inside the game and go beyond the stats with game summaries, player interviews, and play-by-play analysis every day. Read our coverage at seattletimes.com/sports.
Compassion, communication, results. That's Pendergast Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Go to pendergastlaw.com. That's pendergastlaw.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
With Popeye's new $6 faves menu, you can get this 3-piece chicken, this 3-piece tenders, this chicken sandwich, or these 2 regular sides for just $6 a piece. I know you can't see what I see, but trust me, those bold Louisiana flavors look so good, you might just have to get them all. Now there's an idea.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Limited time at participating U.S. restaurants. Price may vary. Terms apply.
511 is now part of Seattle, and they're celebrating at South Center Mall this Saturday, April 18th. 511 makes purpose-built gear, including pants, shirts, bags, and more, built to handle whatever your day throws at you. Be one of the first 100 people in line and get a free gift. Then check out the 511 Adventure Area and test your skills on the rock climbing wall. Join them from 10 to 6, one day only. Saturday, April 18th at South Center.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This This is Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
The good news from last night's loss is that for a third consecutive game, your starter, this time Brian Wu, went through 7. Now, he did give up those 3 runs, but otherwise just another outstanding day from a starter. I feel so good about where the Mariners pitching is right now. That's a QS. That's a QS. Unfortunately, the bad news from yesterday's game is that after a 4-game sweep, a mop of the Astros in which your offense looked phenomenal and caught fire, it cooled off again. And, Bump, what I'd love to talk about now is where you fall, maybe where I fall, where listeners fall, on a very early feeling about where the Mariners' offense is. There is one thing that I think is falling flat, and it's not like irking me. Mm-hmm. I just think it's an overreaction, especially this early in the season. And the overreaction is this. Oh, when the Mariners were playing a good team and good pitching, they look horrible again. I don't know, man. I saw Naylor get robbed of a hit by a great play from Ty France. I saw Luke Raley very nearly get a double. Like, I just saw some great defensive plays from the Padres. I think the Padres are a better team than their projection, and I think that they have elite pitching. I didn't see a team suddenly look god-awful against, like, standard pitching. It's just you're going to play bad teams, you're going to play good teams. You're not always going to look your very best against other really good teams. I'm not reading into it so far. We'll see what the rest of the series looks like, but, like, that's an argument to me right now that's just falling flat.
It's impossible to play your best as a team every single game.
Yeah.
It's impossible. In any sport, individual sport, team sport, it don't matter. Things are going to happen. And you're right. The Padres are a better team than we thought. I was looking up their numbers, and I was like, dang, okay, Padres, I see you. It was going into the season. No one's really talking about them. You got Tatis, who's out of second now. He's back in the outfield. They're moving some guys around. Like you mentioned, Ty France making some plays. And they're pitching. Just like we lean on our pitching constantly, right? If you have good pitching, you have a chance. That's exactly what they have. And it don't get easier tonight. But as long as we are forcing them to make plays to keep us off the bases, that's what makes me feel encouraged about the direction that they're going. They've won 4 out of their last 5. I don't care who the 4 games were against and who's on the mound. They won 4 out of their last 5. They're not going to win every single game. And you pointed out some good facts. Like, there were some good defensive plays made by the Padres.
And it's fair to be critical. I mean, Dan Wilson was a bit after the game.
Well, I mean, I think, we did pick up the run on the sac fly, and I felt like we were on our way, and it was a good start to the ball game. But then we just, offensively after that, I feel like, we got some traffic, but we just didn't get them in.
Yeah. Too many moments where you had 2 on, maybe a runner in scoring position, and pop out, strike out, whatever it is. A couple bigger names go, like Cal, I think 0 for 4, 0 for 5, or whatever it was. Donovan had the sac fly, I think, right? No. You had a good day from
Dom. I think it was Dom at the
Thank you. And then a good day from, Rosarina, Naylor, and Raley had hits, but you only had 4 as a team. I get it. Like, it's a quiet offense. It's really frustrating. Given the start of their season overall, I can see why someone would go, oh, no. Ugh. What happened against the Astros was just an aberration. That's never going to happen again. And it's like, well, I don't know. Let's just wait and see what the rest of this series looks like. I think that you're a good team playing a good team. I think the Mariners are such a talented team that, like, you have to wait longer to see what they're really going to be.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a pointless endeavor. It's one thing for us to talk about it, but it's a pointless endeavor to make too much of it.
It's tough because the people who say that the Mariners don't rise to the challenge against good pitching, technically they are right to this point, right? Because technically you've played some good pitchers and you haven't won those ball games. So I'm not saying you're completely wrong, but I'm saying that, yeah, it's still early to say that is them. Let's get it tattooed on them that they do not play well against top pitching. No. Did they take advantage of poor pitching? Yes. That's what a good team is supposed to do. You take advantage of the weak homies. If you're weak, you better win those games. You take advantage of it. When the better teams roll around, let's compete. And I think they're moving in that direction. So that's the tough part about this whole thing is technically you're right. All right, they haven't done well against top pitching, but if they do that tonight against a guy who's third in the league when it comes to ERA, who's played great ball, has 3 starts. I believe he started against the Rockies, the Red Sox, and the Tigers/Lions.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't really seen much either. So just like I'm looking at his ERA, and I saw him like, dang, man, he's out there balling. I saw he played against him. I'm like, all right, well, he ain't played against nobody either. It's we're still trying to figure some things out with both teams.
Yeah, again, I thought there were some great defensive plays by the Padres, who are a better team than their projections. Also, I thought that this game was basically over when it was announced that Mason Miller was coming in, which you knew. I heard Angie talking about it, and I know that she was like half joking, but I think a lot of people were thinking it, where they were like, okay, what if it's not a save situation? Do you have a better chance? Do you have a better chance against not Mason Miller? Mason Miller is unbelievable. He has not allowed a run since August 5th. I don't know if anyone else is aware of this, but crazy. Last year's MLB season did not end on August 6th. He actually continued to play, little known fact. So he has made multiple appearances, including in the WBC and like just throughout spring, in however many appearances he has for the Padres. No runs allowed. He's only walked one batter. I thought Rosarena might draw one. I thought Randy might draw one.
Yeah.
He figured out like, okay, I got to lay off of this. I can't imagine what it looks like too. Like, if anyone was like, why'd Randy swing at that? Let me tell you what. It does not look.
I saw a diagram. I forgot what pitches it was. It was Miller. And the release point, 2 pitches, right? Exactly the same. Halfway down to the batter, the ball is in the same place. And then from there, one goes right, one goes left. It's like you're guessing. You're taking a snapshot and hoping that you are guessing correctly. Sometimes you just go up against guys who are that much better, and that's exactly who he is.
Kevin in Cali says, Stacey, you're rationalizing and denying facts when it comes to the Mariners. Sure, great against a garbage Astros team, bad against a decent team. Those are facts. I didn't deny that.
No, we just said.
Basically,
you're right, but it's just early.
That's what I said. I said, I think the argument falls flat when you haven't seen the rest of the series and you've only seen them against like 4 or 5 teams so far.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that the Mariners have had a disappointing start to the season. I think that their offense statistically does not look good right now. And I think that they looked much better against objectively awful pitching, like some of the worst pitching I've seen in a minute from Houston. But I also think to say, oh, they're actually a horrible team because finally they faced good pitching in one game of a series so far. Like, you knew that it would be tougher against the Padres. Everyone knew this. This is not new news. So I just find that the argument falls a little bit flat. I need to see more.
Yeah.
It's not ignoring facts. It's just figuring out what to do with those facts. So it's combining it with context. That's what it is.
I'm trying to figure out a way to describe it in my good old football terms. I know you don't like crossing sports, but I'll do it all the time. It's like going on a drive, and you put 6, 7, 8 plays together and you stall out. But you're like, all right, we're moving the ball, though. We're moving the ball. Okay, we can see the run game is there. We're moving the ball. That's the kind of way that I look at this is like, all right, they're doing some things that are trending in the right direction. If we weren't trending in the right direction at all, then I'd be a bit more concerned. And even if we weren't, I still wouldn't be that concerned because it's freaking April, 15th?
Yeah, I'll pull in a third voice. Curtis, obviously, you're all over pre and post and everything, so you hear plenty of analysis when it comes to the team. You dabble in baseball. What's your take on this so far? Just like final minute here, but like Bump and I are saying, look, it's kind of the argument that suddenly they're horrible because they're facing good pitching again, and it was an aberration against the Astros. Like, no one was doubting the Astros pitching was bad and that you weren't going to get 13 hits in a game.
Yeah, but to expect a continuation of what the Astros series was against a good team like the Padres, that might have been a little bit wishful thinking. Do I think the Mariners are going to, gack this series away? No, I think there's still opportunity for them to win it. And it's not like the Padres looked like world beaters last night. I mean, they only scored 4 runs off you.
That's another thing I want to push back. Again, Kevin and Callie saying, well, they look like a bad team against good teams. I don't think they looked like a bad team last night.
No.
Am I wrong?
Think so. No. It's a Tuesday night game in San Diego on April 14th. You're going to have games like that.
You had what looked like a routine out, hit the bag at second, pop up in the air, it's a base hit. You had Ty France rob a hit from Naylor. You had a couple moments where you didn't look like bad baseball. You didn't drive runners in, but it's not like a what is this team kind of moment.
You know what I like before we get out of here? 206 says, I think a lot of people apparently do not have the right temperament for baseball. That's beautifully said because the sense of urgency is different. In football, you lose your first 3 games, you're probably not making the playoffs, right? There's urgency there. Basketball, you wait until about 23 games in to really figure out who your team is. That's why Curtis suggested, 70-something games or something like that. in baseball, I'm sitting on the dock of the bay having a beer, watching just the scenery and trying to figure it all out. So I like that 206.
Curtis, your ruling is they can still win this series. I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
I mean, you've still got 2 games left in this series. I think San Diego can be a beatable team. You just gotta hunker down and get some offense going here.
You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. Coming up next, Get Off My Lawn.
Wyman and Bob, every afternoon at 2.
We had the John Schneider show yesterday. He's in rarefied air, I think, with the fan base. He could pretty much make any move he wants, and the fans are going to go, okay, yeah, I'm on board.
There's one. Draft at number 32, draft a kicker. there we go. I think that's the only thing they could do.
Well, all of a sudden, that guy's booting 66-yarders on the regular, and people are going, see?
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Stacy here, and I need to tell you guys about what I did last week. On Friday, I got to demo the Arc Sport from Arc. It's a fully electric boat that's built to be a wake boat. Carter from the demo team at Arc picked me up right on Lake Union. It was very cool. I felt like a celebrity. The first thing I noticed was how sleek it looked and felt. I felt like I was in a luxury EV, but on the water, obviously. The fully heated seats and touchscreen dash with different cameras were my favorite features because I'm always cold and love a touchscreen. But something tells me people who do spend a lot more time on the water are going to love things like the retractable tower and, of course, Arc software. But you know what else I noticed? We were the only ones on the water. It was a beautiful day, but it's also early April, and that means most people have their boats winterized. Not Arc. No winterization, oil changes, or transmission service means significantly less maintenance. So you can actually take advantage of an unexpectedly sunny day. You really have to see and experience this boat for yourself. So do it. Book a demo. It's easy. They'll pick you up on Lake Washington, Lake Union, or Lake Sammamish if you can't come to them in Kirkland. Go to arcboats.com/demo now to fill out the form, and you'll be out on the water. Arc, you have to see it to believe it.
Well, spring is all about getting ready for summer, isn't it? But do you have a room just sitting empty and you've dreamt of making it your own home gym? Hey, Brock Heward here, and working out in your own home, well, it is the best. We've been doing so for years, and you can allow Top Fitness to create your own home gym. Simply give them your room dimensions, and they'll do the rest. A complete fitness room design. It's no secret why everyone, from personal trainers to pro athletes, love Top Fitness. Top Fitness represents the very best brands in fitness, like Precor, Inspire Fitness, along with many others. They also have everything from flooring to weights that go in a home gym. And right now, get spring special financing with 0% interest for 12 months, plus mention me and receive an $150 credit towards any purchase over $1,000. Spring is here to get you in the best shape, so go get into Top Fitness with locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or simply visit topfitness.com for more info. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
Digging in my yard, trying to lay a pipe. I hit a water line and now I have to pay a big fine. I should have called 811.
What does baseball and Klein Jewelers have in common? Diamonds, of course. Hi, Andy Klein here. Sure, we love baseball, but we love diamonds even more. Why? Because our diamonds sparkle and last longer than 9 innings. Every diamond is hand-selected for maximum brilliance, quality, and value. Klein Jewelers by the Fountain in downtown Edmonds also has a big selection of engagement rings, wedding bands, diamond and gemstone fashion jewelry, and one-of-a-kind custom designs. Swing for the fences and shine with Klein.
Upgrade your comfort and cut energy costs with Lake Washington Windows. Get 20% off energy-efficient windows and doors, plus $1,000 off whole home projects. Enjoy 18 months, no payments, no interest. Schedule your estimate by April 15th at lakewashingtonwindows.com.
If you're building decks in Puget Sound this season, you need materials you can trust and a supplier who delivers. Par Lumber carries premium TimberTech and Trex composite decking, railing, and accessories contractors depend on across the Northwest. With reliable job site delivery, we keep your projects moving so you can keep building. Right now, get 20% off deck railing and lighting with any TimberTech or Trex deck board purchase for a limited time only at Par. Visit par.com/decking to learn more. Par, where the builders go.
Mariners and Padres tonight in San Diego. First pitch at 6:40. Pre-game at 5:30. Hear every pitch live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
What are you doing every day to support your liver? If you enjoy sweets, fast food, alcohol, or take any medications, that's a vital question to ask. Hi, I'm Sherry Torkas, pharmacist and health author. For over 30 years, I've helped people make informed decisions about their health, especially concerning prevention and long-term wellness. Supporting your liver isn't just a wellness trend, it's a daily essential. That's why I recommend Active Liver by New Nordic. It's made with plant-based ingredients like milk thistle, turmeric, and globe artichoke, herbs clinically studied for their protective and restorative effects on the liver. Active Liver blends traditional herbal wisdom with modern scientific research. Not all supplements are created equal. I trust Active Liver because it's backed by science, meets strict quality standards, and delivers true daily liver support.
Active Liver is available online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com, or you can find it in stores at CVS, Meijer Grocery, Wegmans, and now Active Liver is available at your local GNC.
Progressive's accident response can detect and send help when you need it most, after a major car accident. But other accidents, you're on your own. Like when you accidentally call your wife Mom. When you accidentally say Happy Holidays on someone's birthday. When you accidentally wave at someone you thought was waving at you. We can't help with those accidents, but Progressive's accident response provides peace of mind after major car accidents. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Limited availability in California. Driver is responsible for emergency and towing charges not covered by the policy.
That sound? Yeah, that's not a good sign. Hey, it's Drew Brees. And when your car starts making noises like that, a big repair bill might be coming right at you. But with CarShield, you don't have to fear unexpected breakdowns. CarShield helps protect you from expensive auto repairs. I spent my career making tough calls, but this one is simple.
Visit carshield.com now and join the team that's helped millions of drivers save. Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at carshield.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
In less than 15 minutes, we're getting back to the Mariners with Yahoo Sports' Jordan Shusterman. Right now, though, Bump's got to complain about 3 things, and we always love it when he does. So it's time for Get Off My Lawn. Bump, what do you got first?
I'm a man. I'm 40.
All right. First one. Listen. Raise your hand. I need your participation, Matthew and Curtis.
Oh.
Okay. You don't need to say anything,
Okay.
Matthew.
Okay.
Curtis, you can speak if you want to. Matthew, he doesn't like to talk unless he's talking crap. All right. Raise your hand if you get random sales calls every single day.
Not every day, but
yeah, pretty close, yes.
All right, because Matthew doesn't sign up for nothing. He goes to the store and buys it himself.
Oh,
Bingo.
supporting brick and mortar.
Right? So every day I get these random calls, man. I mean, I must have put my number in so many things that they just don't know. But there's this one company that calls me like every other day. And every other day I pick up and say, I'm not interested in your services. Then they send a different salesman. I'm not interested in your services. The fourth salesman's going to get it. That company is setting that fourth salesman up for the wrath of a 40-year-old man who is tired. I have to drive to Seattle every day. I drive back to Monroe. I take my kids to practice. I just want to come home, have a beer, watch the Mariners, and prep for work. And he called me, and I said, listen, what's your name? Lil Bobby. Lil Bobby, you are about to get it because I've told your company several times not to call me anymore. Yes, I understand, but are you so? I just told you I wasn't interested. All right? Listen, you're going to learn a good lesson. If you can be a salesman, I've been a salesman. You got to learn how to take rejection. And I've been rejected in horrible ways, so I try to keep my composure and be like, you know what? It's okay. It's not his fault. But I had to go off of Lil Bobby the other day. Say, Lil Bobby, take my effing number off that effing list before it gets crazy. I don't know what crazy means. I'm going to find them or something. I don't know.
I'm going to write a letter or send an email.
But goodness gracious, just give up. You got to know when the sale is not going to happen. I've been in sales. There's a moment when it is just over.
Mm-hmm.
Stop calling me. Stop harassing me. You get on my nerves.
Yeah.
Y'all better not call me again. I already told Lil Bobby, if y'all call me again, it's going to be problems for the next person that calls me. And they're setting these, and they're young people too. They're setting these young salesmen up just for failure. You're throwing them into the lion's den and saying, good luck. We've blown this guy up for a month already.
Is this just a random telemarketer thing, or is this a legit company like a Comcast?
It's a legit company. Like, I was genuinely interested in their services.
Oh, okay.
I spoke to a salesman and go, nah, actually, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
So,
take me off the dang list.
I was going to say, sometimes when you get these spam callers, they're just calling, and if anyone answers, they know that there's someone on the other end of the line. So some people don't answer. You either block the number, or if you just never, ever, ever answer, they're not going to call again. But if it's a company that's like a legit company where like real people and not a random marketer is calling, then that's just maybe.
And the worst part, is this Michael? Ah, dang, here we go. Is this Michael Bumpus? Yes, it's Michael. What's up? Who is this?
Yeah.
And then you do your spiel, and I feel bad because I hung up on a couple guys right when they start their spiel. Like, I know who you are. No, thank you. Bam, I just hung up on them.
Yeah.
I'm like, I feel bad because these are young salesmen.
As long as you answer, they'll keep calling. You know what I've been really into lately when you answer your phone is saying go for and then your name. Go for Stacy.
Go for Stacy.
I've been so into that lately. Go for Michael. Go for Bump.
Think you're a truck driver?
Yeah, I've just been really into answering my phone that way. Maybe you should try that next time.
Maybe.
Just see what happens. Actually, don't answer the phone at all. What's next?
I'm a man.
I blame myself for that. I put my number in too many things.
You should blame yourself.
All right. Man, I got called old this weekend, and I called you about it. I got called old this weekend. I'm like, what? Everybody doesn't do this? What are you talking about? My friend was like, nah, bro. Everybody don't do
You're
that.
about to call out
So
some listeners.
I'm old, or you are old if you do this. I'm old because I use Siri. I'll be like, hey, Siri, call Stacy. Hey, Siri, call Mom. My friend was like, you are old as heck for that. I'm like, I'm the only one who uses Siri? And then I'm like, I'm driving, and I say, hey, Siri, text Stacy. Why aren't you picking up my calls? Send. They looked at me like, you do that? Why not use the resource? Why not use it? Nobody here does that. It's just me. I'm really that old. Siri is for old people.
So
she's trying to listen to me now.
You are.
What?
You are.
That's crazy.
You are older.
That is crazy.
But also, it's really in conjunction with. So the thing is not just, I might use like a, hey Siri, whatever. And I feel a little old when I do that. I make fun of my friend all the time for just not Googling. I'm like, what you have in your hand right now, your cell phone, that's a computer. You're holding a computer. You can open up your phone and you can Google.
Efficient.
I think I can type faster than Siri will give me an answer. And sometimes you got to wait for it. And the answer Siri gives is just AI. It might not be right. But also the problem is that, that Michael Bumpus, you are doing these all. So in addition to, hey Siri, call Stacy.
I don't say it like
hang on,
that.
No. Hey Siri, text Stacy. Oh, hang on. I got it. Text Stacy. Why didn't you answer? ? We'll talk to you in the show meeting. Period. Send. Like that's old.
Why
that's
you make me
old
sound like that
behavior.
though? I talk to her regularly.
You can't.
Hey Siri, text Stacy. Pick up my phone call. Send. She's trying to text you right now. See how she listens? We have a good relationship, me and Siri. You guys are making me feel like I shouldn't have this great relationship with Siri. I drive a lot.
I mean, this is a lot like the movie Her.
Yeah, Siri's
with
not real.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Siri's
right?
not your friend. Siri's not a real person. But also, that's old behavior, I fear.
Well, I'll be old then, man.
Yeah, you are.
Because I drive a lot.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be hands-free. I'm trying to be safe.
Mm-hmm.
So you mean to tell me I should risk my life rather than talk to my girl Siri and have her handle my business for me?
Not my girl Siri.
Wow. All right?
509 saying Bump's font on his phone must be really big, too.
Let me tell you. No, hang on. I will tell you that hosts who shall remain nameless, so 3 separate hosts use this computer that Bump is on. When I tell you this,
2 of the 3 hosts have it zoomed in.
When I tell you,
to 175%.
3 of the 3 hosts have it zoomed in.
3 of 3? I'm not zoomed in like that.
You're zoomed in
what
over
does yours
100.
look like?
You're over 100%.
Yeah, mine don't look like that.
What's last?
How is this happening to me? All right.
I'm a man.
There we go.
40.
Last
It's almost
one.
like this whole segment is about you being old.
It
now.
is. I'm embrace it. A gray hair in the beard. It's all good. I went to the USA game last night, and I went with my daughter. She loves Trinity Rodman, so got to see her play. She
Go
played
Cougs.
the last 30 minutes. Go Cougs. And I'm like, baby girl, what you want? She goes, I want a churro. I'm like, all right, cool. You stay here with your mom. I will get you a churro, right? So I go to get her a churro, and there's this. You'll relate to this. Crazy teens. There's 3 young ladies standing in front of me, and they are doing their tiki-takis and their snappy chatties and whatever the heck they're doing,
Got
right?
it.
And they dang near bump into me and say nothing.
Oh.
And I look at them, I go, excuse me.
I'm seeing
And they
red.
look back, nothing. And then her mom's right there, and the mom finally says, oh, ladies, say sorry to God. And they're like, sorry. I'm like, it's a public space, young ladies, with your tiki-takis, your snappy chatties, or whatever the heck you're doing all these dances and stuff. I just want a churro for my baby girl. If you bump into somebody, just say excuse me.
I know that's
and
right.
we're done. I'm getting the dad stare like, y'all really not going to say nothing. If my kids did that and they didn't say anything, I'd be on my kids. But you better apologize. Just say excuse me.
Yes.
It's that easy.
So
and you're dancing in a public space. Like, this is your area. It's a shared space. There's 40,000 people here right now. Be aware. Be courteous.
So you have teenagers. Is this something that teenagers do often? Because I notice it all the time. So at the grocery store I go to, when I get my groceries, let's say if I go after work, it just so happens to be when 2 nearby high schools are getting out. And so it's full of teenagers. And every time I'm like, Stacey, why did you do this? Maybe it's because I'm their size. But like teenagers today, my most boomer take, they will bump into you and not say a word. Not say a single word. Like, I remember being oblivious as a teenager because your whole world is like whatever you're doing that day, and that's fine. That's just that age. But like, there's a weird, like, they don't interact at all.
Yeah.
They don't say, oh, excuse me.
No.
Sorry.
Just be courteous. You're lucky I didn't say nothing, but these are young. If these were young men
on their ticky-tacky,
I would have said something. But they're girls. I just think their mom handled it.
Yeah, sure.
Get off my lawn.
Oh, that's tough. You have some people saying, Bump, I use Siri all the time.
Thank you.
They said I'm 68.
Oh, yeah, it's all good, baby. It's all good. Minutes with you.
You do have solidarity with listeners. They have your back. You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. Coming up, let's figure out what's worth panicking over and what's absolutely not worth it when it comes to the Mariners. Yahoo Sports' Jordan Shusterman next.
You can stream every pitch of every inning of every game all season long. Oh, and it's completely free.
It's a tremendous catch.
Only on the Seattle Sports app. That's right. The free Seattle Sports app puts every single Mariners game right in the palm of your hand.
On a platter, come and get it.
One app, every game. Plus the latest Mariners news, insider access, video, and podcast.
Holy smokes, what a play.
Pretty awesome, right? Just like the Mariners.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here for my friends at People Come First. You've heard me talk about them. PCF Construction Group. People come first. And if you've been dreaming of a new deck, well, now is the time to call PCF before the good weather arrives and their schedule gets all filled up. With a new deck, patio cover, heater, and fireplace from PCF, you can enjoy your outdoor space year-round, no matter the weather. And for a limited time, get 50% off demolition costs. That's up to $5,000 when you book your project with PCF. Contact People Come First Construction Group for all the details. You know, they designed and built our outdoor living space, and we loved it. Start planning and designing your dream deck now so you're ready to build this summer. Planning, permitting, construction, they take time. So don't wait another day. Get started today. Get project ideas, browse their amazing photos, and find all the offer details at PCFgroup.com. That's PCFgroup.com.
Making your outdoor space with People Come First.
It's funny how you get used to things in not so ideal condition around the house. It's Dave Wyman here, and for me, it was old windows. After 20 years in our home, virtually every window had a broken seal. We got used to cold drafts, outside noises, and condensation. And if you're in the same boat, use this spring to say goodbye to the old, dreary windows and hello to your new exclusive windows from Harley Exteriors. Right now, they're having a spring cleaning sale to complete your home makeover. If you buy 10 windows, you can choose between 20% off your entire project or get a free door. On top of that, make 0 payments and accumulate 0 interest for up to 12 months for qualified buyers. Harley Exteriors windows are a massive upgrade, manufactured right here in the Pacific Northwest and exclusive to Harley Exteriors. Call 833-HARLEY, that's HARLEY, or go to harleyexteriors.com. Schedule your free consultation today at harleyexteriors.com.
Spring is a season homeowners start improving their homes. Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. If your home needs roofing, siding, new windows, gutters, or decking, our team can take care of it all. For a limited time, save up to $3,000 on a new roof, siding, deck, or windows project. Planning multiple upgrades? Combine your projects and save even more. Or with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. You can start your project now and pay later. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
Home is more than a place to live. It's where the best of life unfolds, where possibility sparks, where community grows, where lives take shape. At the Master Builders Association of King and Snohomish Counties, that belief drives the work our builders, remodelers, and tradespeople do every day. Because when we build more homes, we're building so much more than housing. We're making room for what matters most. Learn more at roomforwhatmatters.com.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Have a troublesome tree in need of removal? P&D Tree Service is up to the task. Local experts in tree removal for residential and commercial. If it's 1 tree or 15 trees, close quarters or land clearing, call P&D Tree. They'll get the job done safely and quickly. turning multi-day jobs into a few hours, saving you time and money. They'll clear trees away from homes to help you save on home insurance. They specialize in large tree removal. Ever see a tree removed by crane? pndtreeservice.com.
If you actually are the person that will take care of them after the fact, if you actually will be there for them, if you will pick up your phone, then they come back to you.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners dropped their first game of the series to the Padres yesterday 4-1. Brian Wu tagged with the loss, though he did get through 7. It's the third game in a row a Mariners starter got through at least 7 innings. Bats were cooler in this one, though. Just 4 hits, all from Naylor, Arozarena, and Raley. Game 2 today at 6:40. Emerson Hancock on the mound.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Yahoo Sports' Jordan Shusterman joining us now on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Jordan, how's it going?
Hello, friends. Good to see you as always.
We are happy to have you. You guys can read Jordan's work at Yahoo Sports. You can also hear him regularly on Baseball Barbiecast, an excellent podcast. You guys post 3 times weekly, more during the season, 3 times weekly. And my first question is actually inspired by your latest episode. Always a good listen. A great, walking the dog. I can take a good hour out. You guys were talking about the Yankees and kind of you and Jake tongue-in-cheek were like, sky's falling. Get rid of all the teams in New York. These are horrible teams. And you guys made a point of when a team is clearly talented, you're always kind of hesitant to write off smaller sample sizes of bad play. And I thought, yeah, that feels true for the Yankees, fundamentally true. I wanted to ask you to what extent that applies for the Mariners, because I know some people had them as equally as talented as the Yankees. Maybe because of the gap in payroll, I still had some nerves, but how do you view the Mariners' talent in kind of conjunction with the lack of offense we've seen?
Yeah, I think it's a worthy comparison. I think that the high-end talent for both teams, as we've seen, is pretty spectacular. I think what the Yankees have kind of really closed the gap quietly, have also become one of the more impressive pitching development teams. Now, the difference with them is they have certainly developed some impressive homegrown guys, and Cam Schlittler has been unbelievable to start the season, and you got to give them a lot of credit on identifying him and having him blossom. But, they can also go out and pay Max Fried, which puts them in pretty good shape when they have however many other hundreds of millions of dollars still on the injured list with guys like Eric Cole and Carlos Rodon. So they just have some built-in advantages there that they rightfully flex and deserve credit for using. And that kind of rounds out the roster in ways that the Mariners don't or choose not to, however you want to describe it. So it's a little bit different when the Mariners' best players, as we saw, are not performing to their capabilities. I think the Yankees have also had some struggles here recently, but they have a few more outs, I think, because of just how they construct their roster.
Yeah. we're trying to put, I guess, this whole season in perspective so far. And we mentioned to start the show that the Padres are a better team than advertised, right? We thought, they weren't going to be this good. But then Stacy threw a stat out there that Mr. Miller hasn't allowed a run since August 5th. August 5th, he hasn't allowed a run. Like, put that in perspective. How special is that? I don't think this is really what the youngsters say, clocking to people right now.
Man, we haven't really had a closer this automatic in a while. I mean, this is, if you're playing the Padres and you're losing, you're kind of counting down and you're kind of wondering, okay, can we score against Jason Adam? Can we score against Adrian Morejon? Can we score against which, by the way, David Morgan and Bradley Rodriguez, like, they got other guys beyond Miller. At the same time, those guys are not Mason Miller. And Mason Miller right now is, as I mentioned, he's automatic. He is, we spent a little bit of time on the pod earlier this week talking about him because the stats are so ridiculous. It's, 75% strikeout rate. And as you mentioned, hasn't allowed an earned run since August. And he's unbelievable. But you watch him and you're like, yeah, duh. He's out there throwing 103 with relative ease. And when you have a slider that moves as much as his does, and you're trying to gear up for 103, you are going to look silly very often. And that is exactly what has happened for 95% of hitters that have faced him in his previous, honestly, basically since he became a Padre, to be honest.
Yeah, absolute filth. It's insane to watch. And Padres pitching as a whole is just phenomenal. Still, they're, I'm not sure what the PECOTA projections were. Was it under 80, maybe?
I could tell you right now.
Okay, yeah. Let me know where it is, and then tell me if you thought it was a little low and kind of how you view them right now. I'm trying to figure out, like, what temperature to take from this series.
They were a really tough one. They were a team that so the over-under that I see, like the Vegas line, was 83.5.
Oh, okay.
But the projections had them around 80, 79, 80, 81. And the biggest question with the Padres, and this is still true, is they have essentially zero depth. The depth is not a thing, is not a part of AJ Preller's roster construction strategy. It has been heavy on stars, and when they're playing well and when they're healthy, and when you are developing some surprising homegrown contributors like a David Morgan and Rodriguez, and even in some cases on the position player side, you could be good. You could be a good team. But over the course of a long season, like, and by the way, Nick Pivetta just went on the injured list, right? So we'll see how they weather that. That's really where the Padres, I think, are gonna run into some trouble. But at their best, they're a really good team, and I think the ceiling was always there. I think me and a lot of the projection systems, especially with how disappointing their offense was last year, kind of had some skepticism that they would really hold up as a postseason team. I ended up picking against them making the postseason. I still think they got a long way to go, but yeah, you catch San Diego on the right night, and yeah, they look like a top 10 team in baseball for sure.
You said the question for the Padres is their depth. I'm trying to find questions for the Mariners. I have more just be patient, wait and see. Do you have any questions that are glaring to you, or is that your approach as well?
No, I mean, I think there's still certainly some guys who have looked better, guys, things are feeling better than they did when we spoke a week ago, right? I mean, what they did to Houston, I think that at least put them back in like, okay, all right, well, they're capable of a series like that. You lose the opener against San Diego is frustrating, but there's a lot of things going well for Seattle right now. I think they're still trying to find that kind of flow on offense where everything's clicking. If Josh Naylor can really find it, I think that could really unlock that. We've seen guys like Rayleigh who've been really boom or bust, hitting the ball ridiculously hard, but also striking out a comical amount. So we'll see what the bottom of the order looks like and what their depth looks like, how their bench contributes, and also just how kind of the bullpen continues to round into form. I've been impressed with how Ferrer has looked in his more recent outings, and I think that's supplied some good support behind a rotation that looks like one of baseball's best. I know they've had a couple clunkers here and there, but for the most part, this starting pitching unit is really rounding into form.
Last week, speaking of when the vibes were not so great, we asked you in particular about Cal, Julio, Naylor. In that order, just kind of like what you've seen, knowing what you saw in this series, what signs of progress or improvement have you seen from those three?
Yeah, I mean, when you start in the hole that those guys kind of dig yourself into, it's going to take more than one series against the Astros as better as it looked across the board. So, it's still a lot more of the same. I think Cal's still trying to find the timing and still probably missing some pitches that he rather wouldn't. And with Josh Naylor, it's not a matter of strikeouts, right? It's a matter of actually impacting the pitches that he can do damage on, because he can make contact. The problem is he was just making a lot of bad contact. He is someone that will chase outside of the strike zone. And it seems like the pitchers are kind of finding ways to get him to just swing at bad pitches and roll over weakly or pop out. And that's a different kind of genre of poor offense that is not particularly fun to watch. It's very different than Cal and Julio striking out a million times, but it's also frustrating and can contribute to kind of some offensive slumps. So if you know he's going to be in the middle of the lineup there and is someone who he's going to be driving in runs, to see him get rewarded for being aggressive with those 2 big home run swings against Houston, I think was definitely encouraging.
Where does Wu stand with you when it comes to just the elite pitchers in the league right now?
Man, he's so fun to watch. And I know that last night was maybe not, his best work, and yet he still goes 7 innings, right? You look up, and for him to be that efficient to get through 7 innings is just huge. And that has a compounding effect also. I mentioned that I've been impressed with the bullpen, but it was very clear last season that those guys were pretty taxed by the end of the season. And anytime your starter can cover the 6th, cover the 7th, even cover the 8th, even in a loss, that can pay, that will pay dividends at maybe even today, right? If Emerson Hancock struggles, you feel more comfortable going to your bullpen. And so this impacts how strongly you feel about the bullpen in the long term, but also on a day-to-day basis. So you have to acknowledge that there's value in being able to eat up those innings. And while I'm sure Brian Wu wishes he struck out more than, 3 and 2 batters over the last in each of his last 2 outings, he's still finding ways to be efficient and generally limit damage. And I think he'll probably kind of ease into his ability to rack up more whiffs as the season goes on.
The Tigers locked up their rookie McGonigal, 8 years, $150 million. We saw Colt Emerson sign that big deal with Seattle, and Connor Griffin as well. Is this a newer trend you can get behind? I know McGonigal's debuted, but a newer trend you can get behind? Is it a smart move for teams? How do you kind of view it? It feels like a talking point that's just kind of emerged.
Totally.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And yeah, McGonigal's debuted, and he's basically been Detroit's best hitter, which is not insignificant, but still a tiny sample. I mean, I view all of these contracts in a very similar vein. I know when it happens before the debut, it really kind of grabs your attention and makes for a better headline. Whereas with McGonigal, yeah, Tigers fans are already like, yeah, he's our best player. Well, of course, just pay him. Whereas I think with the Mariners in the opposite situation of being like, okay, so when's the guy that you just gave $95 million to going to come up and, and help this offense? So I see it from both perspectives. I think it's just a matter of teams looking at what these players can be over the course of their careers and thinking about how expensive they're going to be if they are debuting at 20 and 21, what that looks like in arbitration, and then what that looks like if they're reaching free agency at age 26, 27. I mean, those guys are gone. None of these teams are think that they're going to be able to keep someone like that. And so if you have a player in McGonigal or in Griffin or in Emerson who are clearly in step, like in line, excited to be a part of the organization, I think it makes sense. There's risk. There's real risk. Sure, for both sides, right? The players may be forfeiting some ultimate earning potential, but investing in anybody, no matter how talented they are, before they prove it at the major league level over a long period is certainly an interesting risk. But it's one that teams are now willing to take. Is I think the really big, if you zoom farther out, not just these extensions, it's just a reminder that the game's getting younger and that teams want to have more money invested in their young players as opposed to trying to catch them on the back half of their prime or maybe as they're declining. And I think that's maybe another way to kind of view this is teams are realizing like, yeah, the best players are the young ones. And so we might as well just pay those guys now.
Hey, going back to tonight's matchup, we talked about how the Padres pitching has been on point. I'm looking at Randy Vasquez and his numbers. Is it too early to take this ERA seriously? I'm looking at who he played against with the Rockies, the Red Sox, and the Tigers. I'm like, okay, is he legit? What should we expect out of Randy? And tell me his profile.
This is a terrific pitching matchup because I know you're asking about Vasquez, and he's been a personal favorite of ours at Baseball Barbecast for a while now. Because last year, and really since he's come up, he comes over from the Yankees with the Juan Soto trade, and he is walking everybody and striking out nobody, but is getting outs and is like not getting crushed. And you're just saying, how is this possible? How could you, he can't keep getting away with this, right? That was Randy Vasquez last year. But now, much like Emerson Hancock, who previously was kind of getting by on ground balls and sinkers and whatever, is getting strikeouts. Both of these guys have unlocked some new pitches, have expanded their arsenals, and are striking out a bunch of dudes. Emerson Hancock, currently the highest strikeout rate in the Mariners rotation. I don't know what odds you could have gotten that before the season, even in a tiny sample, but that is a ridiculous stat that I am very curious to see if it will sustain tonight against San Diego. But both of these guys are honestly among the 5 or 7 most interesting pitching breakouts of the season. And they'll be facing off tonight. So I'm looking forward to watching.
Speaking of the most interesting breakouts, last one here. This obviously doesn't have to be Seattle as an answer or the Padres, but what to you is just the most confounding team to start the season where you're like, oh my God, I love talking about them. I have no idea what to make of them. And it's too small a sample size to even know what's going on. But like, what is happening? Best Brian Windhorst impression. What is happening with this team?
Yes. Well, it's funny, though, because the qualifier you gave there of that I love talking about them, I'm not so sure I would go that far about the team I'm going to mention. But Minnesota, what am I supposed to make of this, right? I know that the American League is clearly struggling collectively and nobody is running away with it or surging out ahead, not even just like the Dodgers, but like Atlanta and San Diego. But Twins have the best record in the AL. And they traded half their team last deadline and then had one of the more discouraging and depressing off seasons imaginable. The Athletics fan survey, their hope-o-meter coming into the season. The Twins, I believe, were like far and away the least hopeful fans of any fan base because of their situation with ownership and the payroll is so down and all the trades. And it's just like, where is this going? Why are we doing any of this? And now they're like kicking Garrett Crochet's butt. They're smacking Tarek Skubal around. And I didn't think they were going to be that bad because they do have some interesting talent in place. But I also didn't think they were going to be good. So if they remain relevant in the AL Central race, I think that is an interesting plot twist for this season.
Maybe it's like their version of Rocktober. It's like Twapril. I don't know. It's just something where the Twins just dominate April and May. I don't know. I'm glad that you said that, though. I was wondering if you were going to say that one. He is Jordan Shusterman. Make sure you are checking out Baseball Barbecast, reading his work at Yahoo Sports. Thanks, Jordan.
Thanks, Jordan.
Thanks, guys. See you next week.
I like Twapril.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah, the Twins. I'm glad that you said that. The Twins right now are 11-7.
Balling.
Forget the Guardians. Forget the Tigers.
Got rid of their whole squad.
They got a 2.5 game lead on the Tigers. Let's get to 4 down territory.
This is 4 down territory. Going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down. Another mock draft out today. We haven't talked about this one yet. It's from Sports Illustrated. It has the Seahawks taking Zion Young. What should we know about him?
Zion Young out of Mizzou, 6'6", 262 pounds. He plays off the edge, 16.5 TFLs, 6.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. His long arms make life difficult for those tackles. That's why when they talk about Ruben Bain and his short arms, they're thinking, okay, he's got to work like Mike Tyson. He's got to get into the body to really be effective. With this young man, he can reach you from across the street. Those longs are armed. He's a run-stop specialist. That's what he does. He reminded me, I was watching the film, he reminds me of a King Corso, but a pup. You know, those big King Corsos got this body, and they're still trying to figure out how to use it. But they'll still run you over.
I was expecting a player call.
Nah, King Corso, but a pup, right? They're still trying to figure out they're clumsy, but they're strong at the same time, and they're fast at the same time.
And they have eyes that are just like white. They're not even regular dog eyeballs.
You're talking eyes. I'm talking body. I'm talking body. I'm talking body. He has violent hands. He looks like a boxer when he gets to the offensive tackle because he's tall, but he uses his leverage, and he pops them. You see these tackles kind of jump up and get pushed back. It tells me he understands how to use his leverage. He will smother you. He is a smothering type of dude, 6'6", 262. He gets into the backfield, and he puts those limbs up, and the quarterback has nowhere to go. You see that he still looks like he's young in his development, but he has a grown man body.
Yeah.
So this kid right here, I think, is going to be a project. He's put up numbers, and you can tell that he can play some football, but he still has more he can tap into. King Corso, but a pup. But if you give him 2 months, and that King Corso's a grown man, he's going to be running through some people.
I love that breakdown. I also cannot imagine owning a dog I'm afraid of. Like a King Corso, I'd be like, what's mine is yours. Like whatever you need in the house. Don't let me bother you. God. Second down. This is actually from a listener. When you were talking about Jadarian Price in the beginning of the show, you mentioned the depth concerns at running back, and this person said, why not just go with Kenny McIntosh? I think he's going to be a stud this year. So I wanted to give you a chance to respond.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. I love Kenny McIntosh coming out of Georgia. He led all running backs when it comes to receptions. I think he's a big play type of guy. We just haven't seen it in a few years. He's been banged up. For some reason, he wasn't getting an opportunity a couple of years ago. I don't know. But I think that you have to go with something that's been proven, even if it's on a lower level, more recently. And that's what Price is. We saw the big plays. We just haven't seen it out of Kenny McIntosh. Doesn't mean that he can't do it. Doesn't mean the coach thinks he can't do it. But if I'm looking at a young man who was just playing at a high level for Notre Dame, who has one of the most explosive runs per clip in college football, I'm going to lean on him. And maybe him coming to this team pushes Kenny McIntosh, or maybe vice versa. But I think that because we haven't seen it, and Kenny's been banged up, and George hasn't gotten reps, I'm going to go with something that I saw a few months ago, and that's Price, man, taking kickoffs to the house, runs a 58. Why not have competition? Just bring him in, everyone compete.
Did you say those legs are arm? Someone said, you've got a bunch of people say.
Those longs are arm?
They said those longs are arm. Matt, we got to find it. We have to find it, Matt. Those longs are arm.
Hey.
Okay.
You like that.
We'll
you know what I'm
it.
talking about.
Third down. Those longs are arm.
Those longs are arm.
Recently, an Oregon coach said if a recruit can't decide between chocolate and vanilla ice cream, he doesn't want him.
Yeah.
What's your ridiculous take?
I thought about that. Ridiculous take for me would be that if you're a quarterback and you've been in college for 3 or 4 years and you can't swing a golf club, I'm not messing with you. Quarterbacks and kickers should be able to swing golf clubs and play some good ball. You know why? Because when we're grinding and stuff, their bodies aren't taking the beating that ours are taking, and they should have time to swing the club. I saw a quarterback who's been in the NFL for a couple of years, and I played a tournament with him, and he could not hit a golf ball. I'm like, what have you been doing?
Who was the quarterback?
I'm not doing that to him.
Oh.
What have you been doing? Because I like him. If he wasn't a good dude and wasn't cool with me and everyone else, I'd blast him. I'll tell you during the break. But listen, man, you're a quarterback. That's part of your resume, all right? Make good decisions.
Yeah.
Be responsible on and off the field.
And then swing the
Be
club.
a leader and be able to play some dang golf, all right?
Yeah.
All quarterbacks should be able to play. So I'm going to judge you if I meet you and you've been in the NFL or even college for like 3 or 4 years and you have no idea what you're doing. I'm done with you.
This is slightly less random than chocolate or vanilla ice cream, but like not by a lot. Matt, did you find those longs or arm?
We'll find it.
Oh, yes. We're on top of it. Fourth down.
Longs that are arm.
Those longs are arm.
Those longs are arm.
Who is a potential undrafted or late round draft pick you like for the Hawks?
All right, I like this young man. His name is Wesley Williams. He's out of Duke. And he has the same kind of stigma that Ruben Bain has, that his arms are not long. Okay? His arms are not long. And he has average speed. He's 6'4", 256 pounds. But he's very slippery. When I say slippery, means that when those offensive linemen try to get to him, he dips and rips, comes to balance, and keeps his eyes in the backfield. And he plays with a passion that I think fits exactly what happens here in Seattle. He gets skinny in the gap. He breaks down, very disciplined. He's not going to jump off the film and wow you. But he's a guy that if he's there 7th round, or maybe he's there as an undrafted free agent, why not go and take a look at this dude?
Someone said sarcastically, if you can't play croquet, get out.
Get out of here. Never played a game of croquet. Is it a game or a match? What is croquet?
Oh, that's a good question. Like a heat?
A heat?
It's a heat? Probably a match. I would imagine. A nice little match.
Match, yeah.
Like match of croquet.
Okay.
I don't know if just British people play it.
Match of croquet.
I never thought about that one before. Don't forget to download the Seattle Sports app. Every game, one app, completely free. You can take it with you on the go when you're out running errands, at Little League practice, on a hike on the boat, wherever the Seattle Sports app travels with you. Enjoy every pitch of Rick Rizz's final season all in one place at no cost. It's the easiest way to enjoy Seattle Mariners baseball. Timeline coming your way next.
You can stream every pitch of every inning of every game all season long. Oh, and it's completely free.
It's a tremendous catch.
Only on the Seattle Sports app. That's right. The free Seattle Sports app puts every single Mariners game right in the palm of your hand.
On a platter, come and get it.
One app, every game. Plus the latest Mariners news, insider access, video, and podcast.
Holy smokes, what a play.
Pretty awesome, right? Just like the Mariners.
Happy birthday to Silver Reef Casino Resort. This month marks 24 years, one more, and they'll be able to rent a car. All jokes aside, Silver Reef Casino Resort is actually pretty new in the grand scheme of things. If you haven't been there, you know what to expect. If you have, man, get down there this month, man. They're doing a bunch of celebrations all month long, celebrating 24 years of fun, relaxation, entertainment, and good food. Speaking of good food, my personal favorite is the Steakhouse. Go and treat yourself. Make a reservation online. Why not make a weekend out of it? 60 degrees, long days, perfect excuse to get on the golf course. Loomis Trails Golf Course, a hidden gem, one of the best public courses in the entire state. Lastly, remember those celebrations I was talking about? Road to Riches all month long, capped on April 25th, where you could win a 2026 Mercedes-Benz GLC 300 all-wheel drive. You can play some golf. They're celebrating 24 years. You got to get down there. All you do is hop on I-5, exit 260, Silver Casino Resort, silvercasino.com.
I saw her texting, coming up to a stop sign, and so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines, and I was able to sleep through the night, and that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions. 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Your reputation matters. That's why so many landscape professionals choose Gravely. You can save up to 20% on Gravely commercial mowers during the Gravely Mow the Distance sales event going on now through the 19th. Visit your local Gravely dealer today.
Let Olympic help you create the ultimate home contrast therapy studio. Pair a relaxing Tilo sauna with our revitalizing Vigor cold plunge. Save up to $5,000 when you buy both. These massive savings end April 30th.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of essentials. Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
Mariners and Padres tonight in San Diego. First pitch at 6:40. Pregame at 5:30. Hear every pitch live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, it's Mike Salk here for my friends at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. And if you're looking for a spot to catch all the spring baseball and sports, I got a place for you. Hawks Peak Sports Bar and Grill. It's your home for game days with more than 60 TVs, so you won't miss a play. They got great food and drinks, and nothing beats the views. So get in on all the action at Hawks Peak. Head to snocasino.com for all the details. That's snocasino.com. It is Seattle's closest Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Please game responsibly.
Yay to Bruce, the streaming king.
With quantum fiber internet, he's gonna binge.
He wants more, he's got to have more.
More bedtime to ride.
More podcasts in the shower.
Quantum fiber Wi-Fi has the power. More fast internet speed.
He's got the gigs to go big, bring him the game.
Right now.
And his royal we.
More sports non-stop, his quantum fiber's on top. Yay to you.
Switch today at quantumfiber.com. Limited availability, service and speed in select locations only.
The Chase Ink Business Premier Card is made for people who make things happen, like me. I'm Sam, founder and CEO of Manifest, a product design company that makes everyday products design smarter. I get 2.5% cash back on purchases of $5,000 or more, plus unlimited 2% cash back on all other purchases, which helps us make more smart ideas into a brilliant reality.
The Inc. Business Premier Card. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Cards issued by J.P. Morgan Chase Bank. N.A. member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
If you're building decks in Washington this season, you need materials you can trust and a supplier who delivers. Par Lumber carries premium TimberTech and Trex composite decking, railing, and accessories contractors depend on across the Northwest. With reliable job site delivery, we keep your projects moving so you can keep building. Right now, get 20% off deck railing and lighting with any TimberTech or Trex deck board purchase for a limited time only at Par. Visit par.com/decking to learn more. Par, where the builders go.
Around the Diamond is sponsored by Klein Jewelers.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
It is The Timeline. And before we get to our top story in The Timeline, we were able to find Bump in his analysis of Zion Young. So during 4-down territory, I wanted to ask you about Zion Young, who Albert Breer liked for Seattle at pick number 32. And I said, well, tell us what we need to know. And Matt, you found the sound?
Those longs are armed.
Those longs are armed.
Those longs are armed.
Let me tell you what. You want that in a prospect. You want squeaky hips. You want blocky shoulders. You want wide elbows.
Yeah.
And you want longs that are armed.
Those longs are armed.
Those longs are armed.
You know what? It's been a while, so I'm okay. Someone's like, well, you didn't go to Merle College enough. First off, I'm self-taught, okay? I went to school to play football, all right? Second, man, I speak 100,000 words a day.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
I stumble over myself frequently. Matt will make sure to tell me, but I will not stop playing that. Can I hear it like just one more time?
Those longs are armed.
It's you know what it is? It's the confidence with which you say it, and you aren't saying it quickly where, when you were like hand-handled when you were trying to say how Dan handled, and you're like, okay, I get how that happened. This is you at a leisurely pace describing a recruit.
And I really like this guy, too.
Yeah, because he has his longs are armed.
His longs are armed.
And that's a good weapon to have out there. The second that he's drafted by whoever takes him, I'm going to text someone. I'm going to go, oh, his longs are armed.
Those longs are armed.
Those longs are armed.
Those longs.
Those longs
Both of those
are
longs.
armed. A lot of NFL insiders, our first story here, have kept quiet about the controversy involving former athletic reporter Diana Russini and Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel. Why do we think that is? My best Brian Windhurst impersonation. Mike Florio and Chris Sims tried their best to dance around the topic on Tuesday's Pro Football Talk.
I'd shoot you straight. These are things that I've been texting with about my friend with my friends in the coaching world. Even their wives are involved in the conversation as well.
Stay on target. Stay on target.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Be careful. I'm trying to. You ever see Star Wars? You ever see Star Wars?
Yeah.
As Luke is going down the I don't know. I'm not enough of a Star Wars nerd to know all the terms, but his wingman is telling him stay on target.
Right.
I'm just giving you. I don't look. There's a lot there, and there's only so much that is reported and known.
Real question: is this out of like a weird kind of respect for another reporter and not wanting to talk about something you don't know for fear of looking hypocritical? Is this out of respect for Diana, or is this out of like a fear of or respect of Vrabel?
I think it's out of fear of backlash from anyone who has some type of power. It's almost like this is the unfair part about it. The whole situation is jacked up, right? But if any player were to be caught up in anything like this, people are diving deep. People have strong opinions. Tiger just flipped his car the other day. Memes are everywhere. They're breaking him down when he got into his scandal. Like, it's because it's a reporter and a coach. The dynamic is different, and I think people are scared to really say how they feel about it. If a player were to do it, they'd be all over this thing.
Mm-hmm. I completely agree. Yeah, and I think there's this weird kind of, I will say, like, as a reporter, there's this kind of, it's not like a solidarity as a group, but it's like, am I being gossipy about something that might not be true? But it's like, I don't know, man. It's the biggest story in sports right now, and everyone can pretend they don't care about it, but there is so much to talk about because it's not just about Diana and Mike. It's about whether or not there's a double standard. In fact, I want to spend more time talking about that, so let's table it and get to it next.
All right.
Former Alabama football player Luther Davis is expected to plead guilty for impersonating NFL players, including Michael Penix Jr., and defrauding lenders out of $20 million. So it was a loan scam where he made $20 million, if I'm reading this right.
Goodness
He
gracious.
defrauded lenders out of nearly $20 million by pretending to be a number of NFL
He'd wear
players.
disguises.
To which I'd say, how did he get away with that?
Yeah.
I hope he walked in with a Michael Penix jersey.
Is he black?
Full uniform.
Yeah.
Okay.
His name's Luther.
Yeah.
What does that mean, Curtis?
That doesn't have to mean anything, Curtis.
I know a white Antoine.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know many white Luthers.
I don't know Luther, period.
He is a former football player, so presumably he is like big enough, tall enough, like maybe young enough to be like, well, maybe he plays in the NFL.
It just goes to show, like, banks really don't do enough background check on people. It's like, this guy's how many other Michael Penixes are there? There's two, actually, because it's Michael Penix
That's
Jr.
true. He's the second one.
Yeah. But how many other than the two are there in the world, Craig?
He obtained at least 13 loans.
Are we not getting socials? Are we not like
No.
checking addresses? Like, what are we doing?
He made almost $20 million. Now, it was him with someone else. I don't know if he was like 13 times impersonating the players or if this other person he was working with also impersonated players, and maybe each of them, like, you know, like I went 7 times, he went 6, whatever it is. But like almost $20 million.
They have to have gathered information, because there's no way a bank should be giving you loans without some real detailed information.
It reminds me of that 30 for 30 with the New York Islanders owner who like defrauded a bunch of banks into, you know, getting enough money to purchase the team, and then come to find out he doesn't have the money to pay off these loans, where it's like these big banks, if you just walk in there with the confidence of like, I want a $20 million loan, they might just give it to you.
Yeah. So this is
not a good thing.
These are the steps they took for this game, and this is from The Guardian. So it was several stages. They register at the Georgia Secretary of State companies with names closely related to the impersonator's players' names or initials. So they register those companies. Then they open bank accounts for those fake companies and create fraudulent email accounts that are allegedly used by these players. So it would look like it's like a fake company owned by Michael Penix Jr., and then this email is Michael Penix Jr., but it's like a little bit off. Then they obtain fake identification documents with names of players. So that's already like a separate issue where it's like now they're going to track down who's giving them fake IDs and fake socials and fake whatevers. But they would have like driver's licenses. So they would bring a driver's license that's clearly fake. It's more of like, why did a bank allow a fake, like what I'm assuming they should know is a fake driver's license and a fake whatever else to open this. But once they have all those fake documents, then they would contact the banks and they would provide the documents and like fake financial statements and get millions and millions of dollars.
If they only put that effort towards something legal, imagine what these young men are capable of.
They also often wore a wig.
How you wearing a Mike Penix? You just got to put a do-rag on for Michael Penix.
I don't know. Next story. The Columbus Blue Jackets missed out on the Stanley Cup playoffs in the season's final week, and head coach Rick Bowness went off on his team for collapsing down the stretch.
I don't know if I'm back, but if I'm back, I'm changing this culture. These guys, they don't care. Losing is not important enough to them. It doesn't bother them. Like, how can you go out and play like that? Should have done this about a month ago. But this is why we are where we are. This is why we're out of the playoffs. That kind of effort. Losing, you have to hate losing. I don't care if it's a meaningless game. I don't care. Show up and compete. 3 hits, 23 giveaways.
Here. How did it stop? Where did it stop?
Because it got tough. Because it got hard. Like we talked about after the Olympic break. It's going to get harder. So everything's good as long as it's going their way. And now it gets tough, we don't want to battle back. And that's what's happened over the last a couple of weeks. That's all that's happened. We're going to change that. If I'm back, I don't know if I'm back. Don and I will talk. We'll get to that. But man, oh man, some of those guys are so lucky the season's over. And there's no practice tomorrow.
That was a great follow-up from that reporter. But, oh, my God, I haven't heard a press conference that honest.
I like it. They lost 10 of their last 13 after winning like 4 or 5 in a row. Yeah, I'd be hot, too. Because Coach is like, this is my livelihood, too, you're messing with. Mm-hmm. And this is what I love about hockey and their culture is that it resembles football a bit more, but I feel like the coaches are a bit more candid when it comes to hockey. Even in football, they dance around the questions and beat PC, but we've gotten more clips like this from hockey coaches than the other sport.
I also think that what makes this really interesting is, like, let's say that Bonus is gone. Well, how do players now dodge those accusations or that story? Like, imagine if Lambert or if Hackstall or someone had said, rather, about the Kraken players, they don't care enough about losing and it means nothing and I need to change this culture. Even if he was fired, people would still look at the Kraken players and go, man, now we're tracking something entirely different. Like, no matter what, people are looking at Columbus players going, whatever happens with him, whether or not he's here, we heard a very honest assessment from someone who would know about the attitude players had. Ooh, you have no choice but to play harder, I guess. I don't know. Let's go around the diamond. The Mariners look to bounce back in Game 2 of their series against the Padres. Emerson Hancock gets the start for Seattle. Pregame is at 5:30 p.m. First pitch at 6:40 p.m. on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. That's Around the Diamond, brought to you by Klein Jewelers Edmonds. Coming up next, let's get back to that Russini-Vrabel conversation for just a second here. Is there a double standard around the treatment of the two of them?
After reaching the NFL's mountaintop,
the Seahawks win Super Bowl 60.
The work continues for the Seahawks to keep the foundation strong. It's the 2026 NFL Draft. Next Thursday, April 23rd. Only Seattle Sports begins its first-round draft coverage with a reigning NFL Executive of the Year.
Who are the real Seahawks?
The John Schneider Show at 4 p.m. with Brock Hewitt, Michael Bumpus, Steve Wyman, and host Bob Stelton live until 9 p.m. on Seattle Sports.
Did you know in Washington State, you can see a physical therapist without a referral from your doctor? That's right. Thanks to Direct Access, you can skip the wait and get the care you need right away. Shannon O'Kelly, how has Direct Access changed the game?
Direct Access for us, Brock, is a game changer. Why? Is because there is so much research and data out there that says if you get in early when you have a musculoskeletal problem or an injury, the earlier you get in and we can start care, the better outcomes and the decreased downstream cost, okay? So it's so important. Our providers are all doctors of physical therapy. They're all trained to identify situations and problems. They've got the skill, they've got the talent, they've got the knowledge. If you get in and start therapy early, we're going to get you back to activity, pain-free, and moving and having fun.
Fast, easy, effective. Direct Access is your path to better movement, starting with a single step. Visit irgpt.com to schedule your appointment today. irgpt.com.
511 is now part of Seattle, and they're celebrating at South Center Mall this Saturday, April 18th. 511 makes purpose-built gear, including pants, shirts, bags, and more, built to handle whatever your day throws at you. Come see it for yourself. Meet pro rider Carrie Hart and enter to win a trip to Salt Lake Supercross, including 2 tickets and $2,000 in cash. Join them from 10 to 6, one day only, Saturday, April 18th at South Center.
Hey, it's Dave Wyman for Bellevue Rare Coins, and I'm really excited to be working with them again as we're seeing the price of gold at all-time highs. And here's what that means for you. Items you haven't thought about in years can be worth thousands of dollars. Old jewelry, coin collections, gold watches, necklaces, and pendants. And a lot of people don't realize how valuable these items are. And right now, it's worth finding out. Find Bellevue Rare Coins in Bellevue, Linwood, Issaquah, and Tacoma, or go to BellevueRareCoins.com.
How was your break? It was great until I stopped for gas. Prices have gone up almost $1 with no end in sight. I might have to start watching how much I drive.
That's exactly why I use Upside. I never pay full price for gas with the free Upside app.
Upside?
Yes, Upside. It's the free app that gives you cash back just for buying the gas you're already buying. So even with the rising gas prices, I'll never have to limit how much I drive.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Just last year, I made over $200 with the Upside app.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app right now.
Download the free Upside app to earn cash back on the gas you're already buying. Use promo code THRIVE25 for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code THRIVE25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first fill-up. That's THRIVE25.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Shopping for a new Mazda? Shop the West Coast's largest Mazda dealer, Mazda of Everett. With more new Mazdas in stock than any dealer in the region. Shop over 780 new Mazdas. Click on the Mazda of Everett price. At Mazda of Everett, exceptional customer satisfaction is the standard. Plus, at Mazda of Everett, you negotiate directly with the owner. Locally owned, trusted by thousands. Shop MazdaofEverett.com and see why we're #1.
Mariners and Padres tonight in San Diego. First pitch at 6:40. Pregame at 5:30. Hear every pitch live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Hey guys, Matt Coker here with West Coast Men's Health. Still here helping men with ED and Peyronie's disease in 2026. Our clinics have helped thousands of men in the last 8 years just like you. Most guys tell me that in their early 50s, they started using Viagra. It worked for 3 or 4 years and then tapered off. That's because Viagra is not a curative medication. It's a short-term solution. Our wave therapy breaks down the plaque in the arteries and increases blood flow without using any medication, with proven long-lasting results. Our treatments are so successful that we have some men driving up to 5 hours just to get treated every week. And our 4.9 average star rating on Google proves it. So whether it's ED, Peyronie's disease, or low testosterone, West Coast Men's Health has the answers you're looking for.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy and peptide therapy. Call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
When the dollar's convertibility into gold ended in 1971, gold was fixed at $35 an ounce. Fast forward to today, and the U.S. dollar has lost over 85% of its purchasing power. Meanwhile, gold has increased in value by over 12,000%. Central banks are buying gold at record levels. Major firms are holding significant positions in gold. And I choose to buy gold from Birch Gold Group. Stan Bongino, and it all starts with education. Birch Gold just announced their Learn and Earn Precious Metals event. This free online event rewards you for learning the basics of investing in precious metals. Sign up to get free silver on your next purchase if you qualify. And you can get even larger incentives as you go. The more you learn, the more you can earn. But act now. This special event only runs through April 30th. So text my name, Dan, to the number 989898 to join Birch Gold's Learn and Earn Precious Metals event by April 30th. Text Dan to 989898 today. Message and data rates may apply.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Is there a double standard around the treatment of Diana Russini and Mike Vrabel? And that could be by their employers, or it could be by people, right? A tweet by Jamel Hill's kind of gone viral. Jamel said, I'll say this, while the photos, obviously of Diana Russini and Mike Vrabel, raised questions, if male insiders were held to a similar standard instead of ethics, none of them would exist. And that's got people up in arms because a good amount of people are saying, yes, totally. And a good amount of people are saying, well, it's a little bit different. Like, I don't know that Adam Schefter is meeting Mike Vrabel interlocking fingers on like a hotel roof or whatever, which I think is like a intentionally obtuse reading of her tweet. But I digress. Do you think there's a double standard?
Yeah. Let's be vulnerable. Give you an example. Okay. When I was in college, single, your boy was out there loose. Like,
in the streets.
In those streets.
City boys were way up.
I'm actually wearing a city sweater right now.
Because you were a city boy.
City boy. In them streets. Not once did anyone call me out for being like that. Girls didn't even care. It was whatever. Let a young lady live the way I was living in college.
Couldn't do it.
No one would go out with her. She'd be called names. It's the way it is in our society. So I think we're going to get the same thing with this Vrabel thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think nowadays people are more likely to come out and vocally criticize men and all that stuff, but it's still not to the extent that a woman's going to get it.
No.
I think that's just the way this stems from thousands of years ago. It's been like this. Doesn't mean it's right, but I think we're starting to turn a corner with this whole thing. So yes, there definitely is a double standard to this thing.
Absolutely agree. I don't know that there's a pure double standard in how they're being treated because they have different responsibilities to their organizations and they do different jobs. So, like, I am not surprised. I know Diana resigned, but like I would not be surprised if in an alternate reality, let's say all this is true, if in an alternate reality, the Athletic/New York Times parted ways, because that is a violation of journalism ethics, right? Like that's a blatant, like you need to disclose those relationships with your employer if you have them. And if you don't, it brings up all kind of questions about access and bias, which is exactly why you need to disclose it. Presumably she did not. So yeah, that's grounds for termination from different companies. Mike Vrabel has a responsibility to, the personal conduct policy, where you don't reflect poorly on the league or whatever. And that's kind of subjective. Up to the Patriots, up to the league. They'll do with it what they will.
Right.
He just coached a team to a Super Bowl. I don't think they do anything. Fine. I can stomach that. I think the double standard, exactly what you said, is in how we talk about the two of them. And this is both like immediately regarding Russini and not really about Russini. So like ultimately this isn't a big conversation we're having about journalism ethics. It's a conversation about sex and adultery and an affair. Like that's why it's popular.
Right.
And exactly your point, Bump. When it comes to sex, people talk about men and women very differently and they attach shame differently. Literally no one is talking about like, oh, Vrabel cheated on his wife, ripped apart his family, because the bar is just lower for men unfairly. You can disagree with me all you want, anyone listening, but ask yourself if we'd be talking about it this way if the roles were reversed and it was a male reporter and a female athlete. We simply would not. You'd have people being like, oh, you dog.
Right.
Right? Like you just wouldn't have people talking about it that way because we talk about
some, but not
as much because we attach way more shame to women.
Yeah.
And that's regardless of if it's a fine, normal, consensual relationship or if it's like an affair where there's like moral qualms. Anytime it involves any kind of like intimacy, sex, appearance of that, women are going to be shamed in a very different way. That's 100% true. I agree with you. I also think this is where people are intentionally misreading Jamel. What Jamel is saying is that ethical lines are crossed all the time in an industry of like information brokering. So there are insiders, male insiders, that are exchanging favors. Maybe some people it's like actual like trips or services or whatever. Other people it might be like, okay, I'm going to report on this or I'm going to ignore this information or I'm going to say this didn't happen or whatever in exchange for you telling me when this deal gets done, or like you tell me about your 3 clients and give me that information and I'll help another one of your clients with this. Like there's a brokering and an exchange. Agents and teams and players are not reaching out to Adam Schefter going, hey, we just want to tell you that we decided to release this player. We thought you could use those clicks. We thought that would be good for you. No, it's like it's an exchange of goods and services. I think that people just care less about that when it's not sex. Like they just care less. And furthermore, while I do not think it's appropriate or professional or anything someone should do to have an intimate relationship with someone that's like a source or you're getting information from, I also think that there's a resentment of a woman in sports for doing that because men don't. And I think to some men, they're like, oh, well, they can't do that. Adam Schefter can't sleep with a guy for sources. That's unfair. There's already an unfair set of rules in sports. You're already playing by a double standard. Again, I am not advocating in any way that a woman sleep with a head coach for information. Please don't do that. That's horrible. However, the reality of men and women covering sports is that we play by different rules. Bump and I play by different rules. Me and Wyman, me and Bob, me and whoever, we play by different rules. I am not going to go hang out with, I'm not saying you're doing this, but like, I'm not going to go hang out with the GM of a team, with a coach, with an OC, with a player, grabbing a cocktail at a hotel bar after a game at 10 p.m. so that we can shoot the you-know-what and he can tell me about, what's going on. And then I can, for weeks leading up to a player's release or a trade, go, I just don't know if this guy's a fit, and then look like a genius when he's traded because a GM told me about that months ago, or he trusts me enough to tell me certain things, or I can text him and ask him a question and he'll tell me. Like, I'm not going to build those relationships in the same way, and neither is Diana. The solution isn't to have an affair, if that's what happened. But also, I think that the resentment and vitriol is specifically because she's a woman. And because there's a resentment of women in sports, and there's kind of this like, oh, she cheated. She got that information, but that's cheating. Not on her spouse. I mean, like in terms of how she was getting the information. Adam Schefter can't do that. That's not fair.
I think women are resented in general just for being in a male-dominated industry. And then you add the historical context of how male-female relationships are viewed. There is a bunch of dudes sitting on a couch right now looking at a female reporter on the sideline and just discrediting anything that she says just because it's a male-dominated industry. So in their mind, it's like, she has to be doing something
Yes.
like that.
Yeah.
And then Diana does this.
Yep.
And then it reinforces all of
Exactly.
that. And I can assure you, I work with women all the time.
Every day.
In this industry, on TV, when I travel, 98% of them are legit. And they work their butts off. I work with a bunch of men. 75% of them are legit. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's some dogs out there, but it's deeper than this one situation. It goes back thousands of years. But what I'm hopeful is that I think people are more likely to hold the male responsible these days than even like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
So hold Vrabel responsible too. I mean, Russini's getting a lot of the talk right now,
Yeah.
but Vrabel was involved in this whole thing as well.
Yes.
He has a wife. He has a family.
Yeah.
He's got to be held accountable
And
too.
part of it's like, I don't even know how you don't like change the industry. Someone said, is the issue that men tend to be in coach and GM roles? Wouldn't you hang out with them for a drink if it was a woman? Yeah.
was
I
a
don't
woman.
blame reporters at all for getting that information, building those relationships. Like, I don't think it's morally wrong to build up relationships. Exchanging like goods or services, I think crosses an ethical boundary, but like building up relationships and trust and stuff, no, not at all.
You know when
I just can't do it in the same
when
way.
I kick it with women producers I work with? When there's 3 of the men around. Because
Yeah.
I don't want to be seen
That's what I'm
as,
saying.
something's
And you miss
going
out.
on.
You miss out on information, and you miss out on networking, and you just kind of have to accept, like, all right, well, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And the solution is not to do this, but like, I think that's where some of the resentment comes from.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
weird.
For sure.
Trevor May joins us next.
Wyman and Bob, every afternoon at 2.
We had the John Schneider show yesterday. He's in rarefied air, I think, with the fan base. He could pretty much make any move he wants, and the fans are going to go, okay, yeah, I'm on board.
There's one. Draft at number 32, draft a kicker. there we go. I think that's the only thing they could do.
Well, all of a sudden, that guy's booting 66-yarders on the regular, and people are going, see?
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Hi, Andy Klein here. There's something special about a baseball game. The moments and the memories. At Klein Jewelers, that's exactly how we feel about our diamonds. They're a beautiful reminder of life's biggest moments. We're here to help you find the perfect diamond or beautiful piece of jewelry to celebrate your engagement, anniversary, birthday, promotion, or just because. Klein Jewelers by the Fountain in downtown Edmonds. Shine with Klein.
For 24 years, Sea Star Restaurant and Ron Bar has been Bellevue's and my go-to for fresh seasonal seafood. And my good friend, Chef John Howie, is behind every plate.
Hey, thanks, Brock. You know, springtime is the best time for fresh, wild Pacific Northwest salmon. At Sea Star, we go from Columbia River King, my personal favorite, to the Copper River King in May.
So whether it is a date night, whether it's a business dinner, or you're craving the very best wild salmon, go visit John Howie at Sea Star in Bellevue. Visit Sea Star in Bellevue.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
Hear that? That's the sound of a car rolling into Valvoline Instant Oil Change. The sound of another savvy driver getting an oil change from trained pros. The sound of not having to leave your car while we quickly change your oil. At Valvoline Instant Oil Change, there's no hassle with appointments or dealer wait times. That's one smart bell.
Our number one thing with them is always like, hey, welcome someone in and assure them that they're in the right place. We're going to take care of them.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
You can count on the Seattle Times for local news and information on your teams and your scores. Get inside the game and go beyond the stats with game summaries, player interviews, and play-by-play analysis every day. Read our coverage at seattletimes.com/sports.
Progressive knows you think the grass is always greener, like maybe you ride a motorcycle. But today, it's raining. So you wish you had an RV, but if you did, you'd have to listen to some guy parked next to it at a campsite plays acoustic guitar. Now, before you start wishing you had a boat, remember, your brother-in-law would invite himself every weekend.
Permission to come aboard, Captain?
But one thing that is greener is the money you could save when you bundle your RV, boat, or motorcycle with your home or auto with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
A multi-billion-dollar settlement is paying claims for up to 21 years. If you were exposed to weed killers at work or at home, your rights are affected. If you or your family has or had non-Hodgkin lymphoma, you could receive $6,000 to $165,000 or more. This settlement impacts you even if you're not sick, because this blood cancer can take 10 to 15 years to appear. If you stay in the settlement, you give up your right to sue. Learn more at weedkillerclass.com or call 888-403-8201. Paid for by the Roundup Settlement.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners dropped their first game of the series to the Padres yesterday, 4-1. Brian Wu tagged with the loss, though he did get through 7, the third game in a row. Mariners starter got through at least 7 innings. Bats were cooler in this one, just 4 hits, all from Naylor, Arozarena, and Rayleigh. Game 2 today at 6:40.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Talking Mariners and MLB with Trevor May joining us now on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. You can catch Trevor on Foul Territory as well as the Athletics Rates and Barrels podcast. And make sure you subscribe to his YouTube channel at Trevor May Baseball. Trevor, how's it going?
I am good. How are you guys doing?
We are good. We're having the conversation that everyone has about baseball in April, and for that matter, most of May, where you just go, it's early, but, and then you say like a critique about your team. So I wanted to ask you to start about the Mariners offense, probably by far the most heavily critiqued part of this team to start the season. And I think it's just because expectations were so high, and we just keep having to say it's early. What have you seen from them so far?
Yeah, I'll be honest. This has been a critique, I think, of them for as long as I can remember. But especially last few years, especially with some successes, the offense can get a little bit anemic at times and streaky. Streaky is the word I like to use because it's the producers in this lineup tend to be streaky, namely, Cal Raleigh and Julio Rodriguez. When they're hot, they are the best hitters on the game, and when they are cold, they are the opposite. So I think that's something we are seeing. A big reason I had high expectations coming out of the gate here was the addition of Brendan Donovan being very much a not streaky hitter and very consistent, and then Josh Naylor being very similar, flanking those two guys. That was the thing that was different for me going into the season, and it just hasn't kind of coalesced and shown up in increased production. There's still all of these just like last night, 4-1, 3-1. The pitching is there. The pitching's always there. It's just when are we going to see these 8, 9-run outburst, and we haven't quite seen it yet. So all that said, I mean, this is a movie we've seen before, and those streaky guys are both starting ice cold and need to get going again. That's going to be the X factor, like it has been the last 3-4 years.
What do you think? We talk about this early. We talk about the bats and them being streaky. Maybe they're going to get hot. The one thing that I think is true to me about this team is just the pitching, right? They're second in the league when it comes to ERA, first in quality starts. Do you believe the rotation? I mean, we believe them for a few years, or are you still waiting to see something?
I think I don't really know what else they need to show me at this point. It's all about consistency in the major league level. It's 160 games. If you can just get, 2 years ago they had 6 different starting pitchers for an entire season, which is unheard of. It's almost a record. So they've been relatively, even when injuries do happen, they've been pretty manageable. They have enough depth. Emerson Hancock has done a really great job kind of being that 5-6 guy. So that depth really shows up, and they all show out, and they've shown out every single game. They did it in the playoffs last year as well. Everyone is doing their job, and that's something they can count on. You need some element of your game if you're going to be a good team that needs to be consistent. Their starting pitching is that piece. In the bullpen, I don't think it's enough love. They've been hyper consistent as well. They know how to pitch in Seattle, and so if they just keep doing what if they just do what they've been doing for the last 3 years, that is a good enough rotation. That is good enough performance to win a World Series. It is. It's down to, can we score more runs than the other team, because we know how many we're probably going to give up.
Yeah, and that pitching is so electric. One of the things that we were talking about when it comes to Cal is not expecting him to get 60 home runs, but kind of okay, where can he step forward defensively? It's not like it was bad last year, but I'm sure that it's a focus of his to be back in the Gold Glove conversation. And I know I'd heard about wanting to maybe throw people out more being one focus, but there's probably a couple of things. I wanted to ask kind of a general evaluation. I know an answer is, he won a platinum glove, but what's your genuine evaluation of Cal defensively right now? What you like, maybe where you'd love to see him step forward, and just kind of in your experience, what makes an elite catcher?
Well, one big thing that it has not gone away and is not really able to be quantified, something that was really stood out to me. I'm always interested in what role the catcher plays in the game planning for the pitchers. And having talked to Logan Gilbert and Brian Wu and Bryce Miller last year at the ALCS, they were just oh, that's Cal. Cal is leading that. He knows everything about everybody. And that was surprising considering how much else he has on his plate, being a switch hitter and also hitting 60 home runs, to be able to do that. And defensively, I remember 2023 when I played against him, I believe he either led the league or was second in the league in runners thrown out, and then made a huge push at the end of the year where he just got everybody. The arm strength's there. I just think it's to the point where he does so much that some things are going to suffer from fatigue, or you have to kind of let certain things go. It's kind of like in the catcher, we've seen catchers change by putting their knee down to save their knees a little bit, save a little bit more energy through the game, and also get that lower pitch to frame. That was a kind of two motivations to make that change. It was a trade-off, and I think that maybe as he gets a little older and plays a lot more, because he plays a lot of games and he DHs when he's not catching, that there's going to be these trade-offs that start to happen where he's you know what, I'm okay if I don't throw every single person out, or I'm okay if I don't grab every strike, because I need to be able to swing a bat because I'm exhausted. And then they go deep, and they played every possible game they could have played in the playoffs as well. So they went so deep and then he went and played in the WBC. At some point you're going to become a tired guy, and then he's got a kid now. So it's you can only imagine how different sleep is for him than it was 18 months ago. So all of that said, what I want to see out of Cal is just getting that timing back, just both behind the plate and while hitting. It seems like he's a little bit in between what's going on, and I think that platinum glove year, it was a little bit of an outlier, because one thing Cal does really well, he's a big guy. He could steal strikes at the top of the zone. And he did that really well that year. He was the best in the league at doing it. That strike is gone. No one calls it anymore. It went away last year when the umpires were trying to change and getting ready for ABS. And now all the guys that were good at grabbing the high strike aren't good at it anymore. And that's where his defense, metrically, has just fallen off. Is that high strike went away, which was something he was just far and away better than everyone in the league at. So it is a little bit of that. But with the ABS, it doesn't really matter either. So it's just about making the plays you're supposed to make, stay in front of the ball, and throw out the guys that the pitcher gives you the best chance to throw out in the big spots, and then just hit. Like at the end of the day, we just really need him to hit. I think that's the biggest role he has on this offense.
Hey, there's a new trend going on in MLB. This team's paying their guys early, right? Tigers pay theirs, Seattle, Milwaukee, Pittsburgh. And it goes against what I know to be true about baseball. It's happened before, but it seems like it's happened at a higher clip. Do you like this trend, or do you feel like this is going to continue?
It's really interesting. I was just having a conversation with my co-hosts on Rates and Barrels today about it. I'm always a big proponent of guys betting on themselves, getting to a position where you have a lot of leverage to negotiate your contract. I think that's important in our game. But when you're signing a deal before you get to the major leagues, that is a huge opportunity as a player, because you don't know until you know. You can have all the confidence in the world, but you don't know until you know. And a lot of the risk is on the team. It's something that the teams do not have to do. It's very much built the way they don't have to do that. They can wait out for a while if they want, but they're making these deals. So it's a lot of risk on each side. It's coming down to, we think that I think teams are just way more confident that they found things that translate into big league success, and that they can project a bottom or a floor of this talent much earlier. And they seem to be right. We have Jackson Merrill, Jackson Churio signing theirs recently, Anthony over in Boston. These guys have already panned out. And then we have Connor Griffin and Cole Emerson, and this is something that was big taboo for a while. Like, they just didn't really want to do it, or at least give these type of numbers, but now they feel really comfortable with it. So I do kind of start to like it, because I do know that as a fan, it is nice to see young guys that you're really excited about to come up. Like, I'm imagining if Bryce Harper had done something like this, the Nationals fans would have, I know they loved him right out the gate, but there was always this question, like, are we going to be able to re-sign this guy? And they weren't able to. So, like, now these teams all know they have this guy that they're excited about, and they potentially could be part of their core of success moving forward. And they know they're going to have him to where you don't have to think about them leaving again. And that's just something that kind of takes away from fandom sometimes, when you think that the guys, you're afraid to fall in love with somebody because you know they're going to be gone soon. So I like it for that. And I think that it's important to get your security when you can. And if a team is willing to take a risk like this, if they don't have to, that's kind of a cosign. That's kind of they're gonna do everything they can in their power to make you as good as you possibly can be. It's seeming like more of a no-brainer for these things, and it's not like they're really low either. Like, if you're in the hundreds of millions of dollars, like, you're not hurting free agency value that much either, and they're not really comparable, because free agency is based on prior performance, and you don't have any of that. So they're kind of becoming a different category of deal, and so it sounds like I'm talking myself into this a little bit, but yeah, I do like it. I
have a clarifying question, getting back to the conversation. It's less about Cal and more about a catcher's role in play calling in general. Just out of curiosity, I've always kind of assumed that, like, maybe the bulk of play calling is based on, like, analytics, the approach by the staff, the philosophy they have, that the pitching coach and the whole crew is a big part of that. And then the catcher, like, maybe makes adjustments during game. But, like, how much of a role does a catcher in today's league have in actual play calling? Like, how much impact in the game? And is there even, like, a noticeable difference in talent level between catchers if most teams are leaning on a whole staff for that?
Yeah, it's interesting. It actually varies much more wildly than you would think. There are some guys who it's just not their strength to remember every detail, and so you kind of intuitively, the rest of the people pick up that slack. Like the pitcher knows, if this guy's catching, I need to be very forceful in what I want. I need to shake aggressively so that we can be on the same page. But the whole goal is to just, whatever you guys know your strengths are, have a system that operates within that. So, like, if you have a guy who doesn't feel comfortable, he's young, he doesn't really comfortable, if you can go out there and exude the confidence of the pitch calling, then they get on the same page with you. Vice versa, like, there's a confidence in Cal Raleigh and his pitch calling by the staff that, like, he says something, they assume he knows something that they don't know or they're forgetting. And that is a trust that is the most important part. like the trust itself and being on the same page is actually much more important than the actual pitches being called, because you can adjust accordingly from there. You can make a mistake and then not make that mistake later, and you know that is what's going to happen. So suddenly there's this built-in confidence. That is something that Cal does really well. Another guy who everyone talks about ad nauseum about being good at this is Patrick Bailey in San Francisco. Like when I had Shea Langoliers in Oakland, he was a young guy, but he was just starving for this knowledge. And we got to a rapport where I no longer needed to even talk about the plan anymore, and I rarely had to shake. And that was not that way at the beginning of the year. So like that, it just made my job really easy and me feel very comfortable out there, knowing that he and I were more or less using the same brain because of the preparation we did. So that's what we're looking for. And that doesn't mean they need to know everything. That just means that you guys got to kind of fill out the whole picture together and figure out whose job is to do what. And once you get there, then that's kind of what you're looking for.
Who's been the most impressive for you this year with the Mariners?
I'll be honest. I think I was super excited for Brendan Donovan to come over. He has been as advertised. He is. I really think when it's all said and done this year that we're gonna have to go. You might have to dig a little bit to find where all the value is he's provided, like getting on base in front of those guys when they get hot, and then suddenly he's scoring all these runs. Things that aren't going to apparently show up in front of you. That's what's gonna be so awesome. We're gonna keep finding out about his game. But right here at the beginning, he has been the offense that they've needed to win the games that they have won. And so him coming out strong right out the gate on a new team in a place that's not necessarily the easiest place to hit all the time, especially early in the year, like, has been impressive. And it's just I don't know. He feels inevitable. It's just like he just does the same thing every day. He's always been a rock solid player. He's been that way the entire time. You've never seen him dip in any big meaningful way, and that has been really impressive because it's not easy to do when you're traded for and you're on a team that is competing and that has high expectations, and then suddenly you have high expectations. It's not easy to stay even keeled that way, and he's been really impressive in that way.
Subscribe to Trevor's YouTube channel at Trevor May Baseball. You can catch him on Foul Territory as well as the Athletics Rates and Barrels podcast. He is Trevor May. Thanks, Trevor.
Thanks, Trevor.
Thanks, guys.
Don't forget to download the Seattle Sports app. Every Game One app completely free, so you can take the Mariners with you on the go. Enjoy every pitch of Rick Rizz's final season, all in one place at no cost. It's the easiest way to enjoy Seattle Mariners baseball. Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, real
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news.
Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services.
With Bump and Stacy.
Headline number one, Diana Russini announced her resignation from The Athletic on Tuesday. What's the real headline?
This is a Curtis original that I can barely take credit for, but here we go. More like Diana resigning. Matt,
Well
you're
done.
laughing way too. Was that you or was that
No,
Curtis?
that was me. That was all me.
It was just really good.
Oh, man. Diana's letter that she posted to her Twitter account didn't really speak on much of anything. The approach was kind of like this is beneath me. I'm tired of talking about it. People have taken it and run with it. And I think people wanted maybe a little bit more of an answer. Granted, she doesn't have to give it. Like, she can just be like, I'm over this. She doesn't have to do anything. But I kind of expected maybe something along the lines of like, look, this didn't happen. I'm sick of this conversation.
She didn't say it didn't happen. Just saying.
I liked our conversation, though, about where the double standard is and kind of, it's a really nuanced, complicated conversation. I think some people maybe are like, why are we talking about this? It's just salacious, it's TMZ. And it's like, I don't know, man. Because on the one hand, there's the conversation about Diana Russini and Mike Vrabel. On the other hand, regardless of the two of them, there's an entire conversation about like the industry of NFL insiders and how things work, about how men and women are treated during scandals. Like, there's 15 conversations happening at once. And all of them are very interesting. Just unfortunately, none of them really bring answers as to what happened here.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 2, the Mariners fell 4-1 to the Padres in their series opener last night. What's the real headline?
We forgot to take into account that the Padres have actual big league pitching. We did, I fear, we forgot that.
Yeah, we're going to see Vasquez tonight, who after talking to Shusterman was like, look, a few years ago, he was walking guys, but still finding ways to get some outs. This year, things have changed a little bit. So another challenge, but we saw some good indicators last night or yesterday. So, yeah, you come off a 4-game winning streak, bounce back to a little bit of reality. I'm interested to see how this one ends up tonight.
Someone said, can y'all recap what happened? This whole thing went so fast. With Vrabel and Russini?
Yeah, he's going to.
They were photographed together at an adults-only resort.
Interlocking fingers.
Hands on hips.
Looking familiar. Body language was a little familiar. Not like kissing, not being intimate or anything. But
if I'm popping at a chick, my body language going to look like that.
The body language was a little familiar, and because of that was
the
very
smiles,
uncomfortable.
The looks of the eyes.
Vrabel and Russini. Well, Russini said it was like a girl's trip. Is that what Vrabel said as well? I was like, oh, I'm with my guys.
Vrabel was a boys' trip.
Yeah, they made it seem as though like we met incidentally, not planning it, while we were with friends.
We ran into each other
on this hotel roof.
Yeah.
Nah, you know what this is? How many you got? 4? All right, I'm for all my boys. I'll meet you at the spot.
And the photos were caught by, we're all assuming a PI. They're like legit, like camera lens, like these are, and they were attempted to be sold to TMZ with quote Vrabel and an unidentified woman. TMZ was like, do we do this? And then the New York Post jumped on it and published it, and then the story began. So
the fact that TMZ was a little skittish
TMZ
about
was like,
it.
is this, should we
it's
not?
Too dirty for them?
Is this, well, they thought it was like, are we bedroom policing? Like, is this something
When
that's
have they never
newsworthy?
not done that?
That's
kind of their thing.
I don't know. Well, I think at the time, maybe at the time they didn't realize it was Diana Russini because it was Vrabel and an unidentified woman. So they were like, are we just kind of telling on a head coach maybe having an affair? Like, is that? No, you're right. TMZ would have jumped on it. I'm surprised they didn't. Anyway, so that's the story.
Headline rewrites.
Headline 3, Patriots quarterback Drake May called the Super Bowl loss to the Seahawks humbling. What's the real headline?
He might be the first New Englander to be humbled. It's not, they're not a people to really be, Bostonians.
Yeah, he better be humbled. Watch that film. It was chaos out there for the young man. I mean, you didn't know who was going to blitz, who was dropping. It was a beautiful game plan by McDonald, executed by the players. I knew after that first series it was going to be hard for the Patriots to score, and it was. Man, you said, 5 field goals made by Jason Myers?
Super Bowl record.
Super Bowl record. Could have been MVP, wouldn't have been mad. You know what? If he doesn't get Super Bowl MVP, how much do you think K9 gets? How much do you think K9 asked for? Because that MVP probably gave him about 3 more M's.
Definitely, but he also gave you 300+ yards over 3 games. So it's like kind of like the best part of his resume. Like his best performances, including a hat trick in the playoffs, happened over that stretch.
Yeah.
So he was going to, no matter what, like with that win over
but that MVP gave him more M's.
Absolutely.
For sure.
But with that win over San Francisco, I think one of the things we might have talked about is like, whoo, K9 it's starting to become a blank check at this point.
Yeah.
And then he just kept delivering. So,
good for him.
Yeah. Someone said, are you guys not allowed to give your opinion? They both
You missed that segment.
We spent 15 minutes
it
doing
was
it.
a lot.
I don't want to make the whole show about it.
And we've talked about it many times over the last week.
Listen to the podcast.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Go listen to the podcast and leave 5 stars and good reviews.
There you go.
I could use some more good reviews. There's still one where someone got mad at you for denying the moon landing. I need to push that one back. If someone could give 5 stars, it's okay if Bump doesn't believe in the moon landing.
We all believe in our own things.
Yeah.
Right?
There was one where someone said they're talking about me clearly, and I'm not funny and laugh at my own jokes, which is unfortunately true. They clocked me with that one.
I laugh at most of your jokes.
I thought Twapril was the funniest thing I've said today.
See,
but not as funny as his longs or arm. Nothing has been as funny as Bump's breakdown.
Those longs are arm.
Those longs are arm.
What about foxes being bears? What about that one?
I don't think we need to revisit that one.
I'm just saying.
But that was unintentionally. That wasn't something.
Mine was unintentional.
Mine.
No, yours was intentional. You were deep in thought. I watch Discovery Channel. This is true.
I was trying to share some animal facts.
I just got my words mixed up.
You got your words
Those
mixed up.
longs are arms.
I got my facts mixed up. I thought that I was going to share facts about foxes. Facts about foxes. But it didn't end up being true. Matt, I can tell that you're...
No, aren't foxes bears?
See, we're in this together.
Aren't bears outside?
Aren't bears outside?
Forgot.
No,
I think that one was
pets.
about camping.
They're indoor
and
pets.
I was like, I'm afraid of bears, and you guys all stared at me, and I said, aren't bears outside? You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. Taking a look around the NFL next.
You can stream every pitch of every inning of every game all season long. Oh, and it's completely free.
It's a tremendous catch.
Only on the Seattle Sports app. That's right. The free Seattle Sports app puts every single Mariners game right in the palm of your hand.
On a platter, come and get it.
One app, every game. Plus the latest Mariners news, insider access, video, and podcast.
Holy smokes, what a play.
Pretty awesome, right? Just like the Mariners.
Well, spring is all about getting ready for summer, isn't it? But do you have a room just sitting empty and you've dreamt of making it your own home gym? Hey, Brock Heward here, and working out in your own home, well, it is the best. We've been doing so for years. And you can allow Top Fitness to create your own home gym. Simply give them your room dimensions, and they'll do the rest. A complete fitness room design. It's no secret why everyone, from personal trainers to pro athletes, love Top Fitness. Top Fitness represents the very best brands in fitness, like Precor, Inspire Fitness, along with many others. They also have everything from flooring to weights that go in a home gym. And right now, get spring special financing with 0% interest for 12 months, plus mention me and receive an $150 credit towards any purchase over $1,000. Spring is here to get you in the best shape, so go get into Top Fitness with locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or simply visit topfitness.com for more info. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
Your reputation matters. That's why so many landscape professionals choose Gravely. Right now, during the Gravely Mow the Distance sales event, you can save up to 20% on Gravely commercial mowers. Built to perform day after day, so you can deliver the results your clients expect. Work hard, mow with Gravely. It's the Gravely Mow the Distance sales event, April 9th through the 19th. Visit your local Gravely dealer today.
Spring is here, Seattle, and now is the smartest time to replace your roof. Trust your neighbors at 3 Tree Roofing, a local, family-owned company that knows how to roof in Washington weather year-round. Schedule your free estimate today at 3treeroofing.com to take advantage of spring pricing, shorter wait times, and get $500 off your new roof before the summer rush hits. Our experts come to you, build a clear plan, and give you an estimate that same day. No surprises and no high-pressure sales tactics. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales event going on right now through Sunday, May 3rd. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales event going on right now. Discover the D.R. Horton difference. Visit drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Bull riding is not just a sport. It's a gamble of guts and glory. Nothing else compares. It's Cooper Tire's PBR Tacoma at Tacoma Dome, April 24th and 25th. Ready to be cowboy? Get your tickets at Ticketmaster. It's bull time.
Digging in my yard, trying to lay a pipe. I hit a water line and now I have to pay a big fine. I should have called 811.
For a limited time, upgrade your home's comfort and cut energy costs with Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Get 20% off energy-efficient windows and doors, plus $1,000 off whole home projects. New windows help keep your home warmer in the winter, cooler in the summer, and your energy bills lower year-round. Plus, enjoy 18 months, no payments, no interest, only through April 15th. Hurry, schedule your free estimate before April 15th. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com. Lake Washington Windows and Doors, a name you can trust.
Mariners and Padres tonight in San Diego. First pitch at 6:40. Pregame at 5:30. Hear every pitch live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
John always listens to his truck. So when his brakes start talking, he goes to AutoZone, where a helpful AutoZoner gets him the right parts. If John has time to put them in, he borrows a kit with Loan-A-Tool. And if he doesn't, he gets a free shop referral. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Deposit required for Loan-A-Tool. Restrictions apply.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Taking a look around the NFL. How about this for something to keep an eye on? Todd McShay, Mel Kiper, and Dane Brugler all released mock drafts today, and they all had the same big trade in their respective drafts. The Cowboys moving up to number 6, and Cleveland moving back to number 12. Where there's smoke, there's fire. These are two different outlets, ESPN and the New York Times. Is this just something everyone knows is going to happen?
You think so? At least they've all been given that information, but we know how the draft could be. They could leak that information on purpose to jack everything up, right? There's true information that's leaked. There's false information that's leaked. All three of these outlets have the same information, so they're talking to the same person, the same group. Now we just got to see if it's real or not, because this happens every single year. But if you got all these people saying the same thing, you got to lock in.
I mean, it could also be just because it makes so much sense. The Cowboys want to take advantage of the window they have and the money they're spending on Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, right? Like, you don't want to look like an idiot for trading Micah Parsons, even if you think internally, like, I wouldn't have worked out with us. You don't want to look bad for that trade keeping you from all the pressure you feel from all your fans to have more playoff success. Haven't been to a conference championship since when, Curtis? Cowboys?
95.
So last,
95.
Okay. 95. That's 43 years ago. Not a lot of people know
players that weren't alive then.
A lot of players.
Yeah, most of their roster.
Unfortunately. The Giants and Dexter Lawrence, sticking in the NFC East here, have reached an impasse in their contract talks. This from Ian Rappaport. The Giants have engaged with other teams in trade talks because of this. Rappaport expects a resolution prior to the draft. By the way, the draft is 8 days away, so this is fairly soon. ESPN's Mike Tannenbaum spoke on how he would handle the situation.
I think it's something, Randy, they're going to want to get resolved before the draft. Certainly, if there's three of us who are running the Giants, he's too important of a player that you don't want to have any uncertainty. So I would work really hard to see if we could figure out the contract. And if for whatever reason we can't, I certainly would want to recoup multiple draft choices for him, before this year's draft.
Is he a Giant week 1?
No. I think he's out of there. I think he should be a Giant, but I don't think he is. Because now, do you want that animosity in your building? Right? If he wants out, that's the thing about NFL. If you are a all-pro type of player, if you want out and you're on a bad team, there's a benefit to that. Now, if you want out and you're on a good team, team's like, hold on, we got to try to keep this thing together to make this run. And you got a new head coach. So there's so much change going on over there. I can see Harbaugh fighting to keep him and then saying, you know what, dang, let's go get a couple draft picks then and rebuild.
Lawrence is 28 years old, still fairly young. Obviously not like a 26, 25-year-old, but I mean, it's not like when we were talking about Trey Hendrickson and, at 31 going, oh, who's going to find value? 28 years old. He still has 2 years remaining on a 4-year, $90 million contract extension signed. Is this going to be a first-round pick kind of trade?
Maybe late first. Maybe late, but he's a baller though, man.
I know.
2-time second-team All-Pro? You might get a mid first. Might get a mid. Who needs one?
I was just trying to think of that. Okay, you find the draft order, maybe some late teams that could need some defensive line help. I'm going to get to our next story quickly here. The Washington Commanders have elevated their throwback unis to full-time status and also unveiled a new black alternate uniform and helmet. I don't know how many people listening care about the Commanders updating their throwback unis to full-time status. I do know a lot of people, though, you guys, who would love for the Seahawks to update their throwback uniforms to full-time status.
Man, go white and blue.
Someone else did it.
Go white and blue and call it good, man. The best uniforms in the game.
Truly, though. There are other unis I like over like the standard kind of Navy Seahawks.
Mm-hmm.
Very few that match the throwbacks, to your point. And I didn't know for sure that you could make them standard. But there's so many variations of what teams do now that your standard unis you're going to wear 5 times?
Yeah.
That's it. Did you find a couple teams that you think could be a match?
Yeah, Minnesota is in need for a defensive tackle. That defense is already good. So imagine him going there. They have the 18th pick in the draft. That might be a fit.
You know who I've seen mock to Minnesota in round 2?
Who that?
Jadarian Price.
He ain't getting there. In round 2?
Round 2, low 40s.
He ain't getting there. Hawks got him.
Dolphins GM John Eric Sullivan held his pre-draft press conference today and reiterated what Miami's been saying about the availability, speaking of running backs, of Devon Achane.
He's not available for trade.
Talks closed, and is he not available for trade at this time?
He's not available for trade.
That's not a repeat.
They are things are going good. We've had some positive conversations over the last couple days, trending in the right direction. He's obviously very important to what we're doing, and it's all part of it. It's part of professional sports. We'll get where we need to be one way or the other, but yeah, things are trending in the right direction.
I don't know why. Maybe it's just because it's like the second half of the show, but when you just find things funny, the way he says he's not available for trade for some reason to me, maybe because it's so definitive and because he's so over it. You can tell he's sick of being asked.
Come on.
Just stop it.
Do you know who Jalen Tolbert is?
Jalen Tolbert?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I should.
No, I don't think you should.
Okay, no.
You know who Malik Washington is?
No.
You know who Tutu Atwell is, though.
Yes.
Yeah, that's their starting receiver core right now, the Dolphins. Keep Achane and go draft yourself a receiver and help Malik Willis out over there. Yeah, he's not available for trade.
Panthers GM, next story, Dan Morgan says his team will pick up the 5th-year option on Bryce Young. Not surprising here. Young's coming off his best year as a pro with 23 touchdowns. Carolina reached the playoffs for the first time since 2017. It doesn't matter if they backed into it. It doesn't matter because I think Young's progress here was encouraging. But, Bump, my question for you, has it been enough? I think overall he's been a disappointment, but Carolina's one of those franchises where you're like, maybe if Young wasn't the right fit for you and was overhyped, you also have failures as a team around him. His main target had to be, what's his name? Yes, McMillan, but prior to that, it was, who's that older guy that I'm blanking on? I'll find it. He ended up retiring. But
was it Thielen?
Yes, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
What have you made of Bryce Young's, not just 2025, but like his trajectory?
He showed at times that he could play this game. I mean, there was a streak where he won 1, 2, 3, 4 games in a row. You beat Miami, and okay. Beat the Cowboys, all right. The Jets, so be it. Green Bay, decent. And his numbers aren't great, but he's shown that at times he can play some good football. Your backup is Kenny Pickett over there. Mm-hmm. Kenny Pickett will be a backup for the rest of his life in this league. It's all about Canales. Canales is supposed to be the quarterback guy. He's the one who's supposed to got Russell to play the way that he's been playing. This is a Russell build type of guy, a little thinner than Russell. No, I think that he deserves one more year. They picked up that 5th-year option. Go ahead and see what happens. If he doesn't play well, you don't make the playoffs, you're in position to draft a quarterback next year.
We're all wondering two things as general NFL fans, when Patrick Mahomes is going to be playing for the Chiefs, and as Seahawks fans, whether or not that's going to be in week 1. The Chiefs are a home opponent for Seattle and thus a candidate to open up the season on Wednesday. But obviously it feels like that's not going to happen if Patrick Mahomes isn't playing. Why would you book the opening game of the season with a backup for Kansas City? So what's the latest? This from Ian Rappaport.
Week 1 starter in Kansas City is?
That's a tougher one. My guess is it's going to be Mahomes. But I don't know that the Mahomes were because, 7 hours in a day in the facilities, rehabbing like crazy.
Right.
And if at all possible, if he can be on the field, he will be on the field. It will be weird for us, for all of us.
Yes.
Because we're going to see Patrick Mahomes, and there's going to be probably like a month or I don't even know, however long it is. But when you're like, I see Patrick Mahomes, but he doesn't quite look like himself. And that is okay. But we are going to have to get used to that because, LCL is really tough. It's a longer recovery. We saw with Carson Wentz, he never quite came back as the Carson Wentz he was previous. It does take some time. So, a lot of reasons they tried to improve their offensive line and are still doing it and signed Ken Walker. But one is because, they all need reinforcements until Mahomes comes back. So my guess is he's back. I just don't know that he's going to be the Mahomes we're used to right away.
Get ready for the hot takes. Mentally, emotionally, and spiritually prepare for the conversations, Bump, that are going to happen in September, which are going to be is Mahomes regressing? It's going to happen. I'm warning you now. The takes are coming.
I don't think you should rush this. Yeah. Mahomes take a few weeks into the season. That's why they picked up Justin Fields. He's so important to the league and this team. You have to treat this delicately. I hope they take their time with this.
We have a text from RJ in Maple Valley when we were talking about the Seahawks making their throwback unis regular. That's not a news story. We were just saying that they should do that. And I fear that RJ is going to get himself blocked from the text line for this one, you guys. RJ says, I want action green top and white pants.
Now, hold on.
No, Curtis, don't.
I don't think it'll be so bad.
With what helmet?
The contrasting.
Both you and RJ are blocked.
Nah, you don't know uniform, Stacy.
This is
contrasting
horrible.
Jersey and pant works.
No, it looks like a green apple. Because the first of all, the action green is horrendous, and I'll die on that hill. But the action green with the white pants would be a combo.
The action green jerseys got mothballed this last year anyway in favor of the
But let's just speak it
rivalry.
Purely hypothetical.
It's better than all action green. The white pants.
All action green is awful. I don't like the way that it looks next to turf because it makes turf look dirty because it's like a more natural green. But action green with white pants. Curtis, I feel like you're being a contrarian with this.
No,
one.
I think contrasting jersey pant works better than the same color.
It would work if they had white helmets. If they had white helmets, I'd feel better about it. Because I don't like that helmet with that green. I don't like it.
I liked when they did action green jersey blue pants. They've done that a few times.
I don't mind that, but then what era was the sleeves where the sleeves?
That was the Michael Bumpus.
That was my era. That was the worst uniform I've ever seen in my life.
That and just in general, the millennium blue are.
Our all whites were fire, but everything else was
just a
garbage.
Bad time. A genuine question for all of us and for listeners coming up next. Did the Seahawks have a bad offseason? That's next.
After reaching the NFL's mountaintop,
The Seahawks win Super Bowl 60.
the work continues for the Seahawks to keep the foundation strong. It's the 2026 NFL Draft. Next Thursday, April 23rd. Only Seattle Sports begins its first-round draft coverage with a reigning NFL Executive of the Year.
Who are the real Seahawks?
The John Schneider Show at 4 p.m. with Brock Hughes, Michael Bumpus, Steve Wyman, and host Bob Stelton live until 9 p.m. on Seattle Sports.
Hey, it's John Curley with my friend Bob Stelton. And Bob, just like me, you had a hip problem. You were recommended surgery. Why did you go see Dr. Wagner first?
I was walking around at about an 8 pain level. I couldn't walk that far before the pain would kick in, and it was impacting my workouts and just really impacting my day-to-day stuff.
So you had stem cell on your hip. How does it feel now?
I can do a lot of things I could not do prior to this procedure, and I feel like I've gotten back to being who I was prior to the injuries, which was somebody who's very active, loves being out there outside when the weather's great, being on the motorcycle, sparring in jiu-jitsu, working out. I can do all of those things now. And I've had friends that have gone to see Dr. Wagner. They had the same experience, whether they were dealing with a hip, a knee, an elbow, a shoulder. Everybody walking out of there feels like, why didn't I do this sooner?
Before you choose surgery, surgery? Do what Bob and I did. Go see Dr. Mark Wagner first. drmarkwagnermd.com. drmarkwagnermd.com.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy. With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
On October 3rd, Snohomish PUD is hosting the first ever Community Energy Run at the Water Operations Center in Lake Stevens, located on the scenic Centennial Trail. It's a family-friendly 5K where every step supports the Community Energy Fund, helping local families keep the lights on when times get tough. Join the Community Energy Run on October 3rd. Learn more at snowpud.com/run.
D.R. Horton's National Red Tag Sales Event is going on right now through May 3rd. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. Visit drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Stacy here. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, and when they resell it, they share half their profit with you. That's right. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, Isuzu, and Auburn. They'll pay you today for your car, and once they resell it, they'll share half their profit with you. WayscarFord.com.
You can count on the Seattle Times for local news and information on your teams and your scores. Mariners, Seahawks, Sounders, Kraken, Storm, Huskies, Cougars, Rain. Get inside the game and go beyond the stats. The Seattle Times is always there with game summaries, player interviews, and play-by-play analysis. Don't miss a play. Stay in the game and in the know for what's next. Read our coverage at seattletimes.com/sports.
Mariners and Padres tonight in San Diego. First pitch at 6:40. Pregame at 5:30. Hear every pitch live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Hello, Seattle. Bank of America, in partnership with Visa, invites you to a FIFA World Cup 26 watch party. Open an eligible Bank of America checking account in participating financial centers only for an opportunity to reserve 2 complimentary tickets while supplies last. Experience special musical guests, games, giveaways, food, and more, all at a legendary venue. Learn more at BofA.com/BofA Visa Watch Party. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be the official bank of FIFA World Cup 26. Bank of America N.A. member FDIC. Terms apply. All rights reserved.
Hi, Chef John Howie here. At Seastar Restaurant and Raw Bar in Bellevue, we've been serving the East Side for more than 24 years. We love serving our guests and creating wonderful memories. We also love serving the community, from local schools to amazing organizations like HopeLink, the American Cancer Society, Bellevue LifeSpring, and so many more. I want to thank you, our guests, for supporting Seastar all these years, making it possible for us to serve and help those in need. Thank you. SeastarRestaurant.com.
Meet the company electrifying the marine industry. ARC, a fully electric boat that feels like a luxury EV. Significantly less maintenance and service, ARC is built to be as easy to operate as it is to maintain. Featuring heated seats and seat backs, a large display, easy handling, and impressive kick. You have to see it and experience ARC for yourself. Book a demo. They'll pick you up on Lake Washington, Lake Union, or Lake Sammamish if you can't come to them in Kirkland. Go to arcboats.com/demo. ARC. You have to see it to believe it.
Ooh, that face. Quantum Fiber Internet loves that face.
That's Jamila.
Gage Jamila.
She's thinking outside the box from inside the box.
Quantum Fiber Wi-Fi keeps her meeting game strong. From the back door to the front lawn.
Rushing all of her video calls. Back to back to back video calls.
Quantum Fiber Internet blowing the socksies up all those people in all those boxes. Yay to you.
Switch today
today at quantumfiber.com. Additional pods may be needed to achieve Wi-Fi coverage in some locations. Limited availability. Service in select locations only.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Okay, honest question for you, for me, and for listeners on the text line. You can respond 866-979-3776. I heard Mike Salk talking about this question a couple days ago. I thought it was a good one. But he and Brock had Joel Klatt on, so now we have some sound to accompany. Did the Seahawks have a bad offseason? They had Joel on to talk about the draft and then about the Seahawks letting free agents walk. And I want to get to his draft stuff, and I'm looking forward to it. But I thought I'd start with just a conversation about them letting so many free agents walk. Because they got some criticism for that, for a failure to add, right? Especially when the Rams are acquiring McDuffie and signing people, and everyone's just looking at names they recognize, like Reed Woolen and Ken Walker leave Seattle. But I don't think they had a bad offseason. It's just, you have to make some choices.
They had a champions offseason.
A quiet offseason.
This is what happens when you win championships. Guys get overpaid. Not saying they get overpaid, but they get paid more than what you would pay to retain them because of the year that you had as a team. Kobe Bryant, heck of 4 years here. K9, you just mentioned the last 3 or 4 games was a run. He gets his money. Reek, freakish athlete. We saw some good, we saw some bad, but there's no denying that athletically he's one of the best corners in the game. And then Boye Mafe capitalized in a situation where the Bengals were desperate to make that defense better. And last year was probably better than this year, but if you watch Boye play, he's athletic. This is what happens when you win championships is you're going to lose guys. That's why there's a draft. That's why there's free agency. So I wouldn't say they had a bad one. You asked me a few weeks ago if they got worse. And I said, yeah. And everyone jumped up, wow, what do you mean? I go, they didn't get better. They got worse. You got worse at the running back spot. Got worse at the safety spot. You got worse at the edge spot. And you got worse at the corner spot. But that doesn't mean that they can't draft to fill some voids. That doesn't mean that Ty Okada or Thomas can step up and fill that. We just haven't seen it yet. So right now, they've gotten worse. But as the offseason goes along and they actually start playing games, I mean, they could have just been even or maybe just exceed expectations.
Exactly. Your answer was reflective of a team that's in transition, saying like, well, this isn't the team that we're going to be watching week 1. And that team is going to be impacted, even though there are only 4 picks right now, by the draft. Joe Klatt actually had the same approach you did, saying like, you know, maybe not a massive issue they let so many free agents walk, but also look to what they can do here.
Largely, wouldn't you agree that this team outside of Darnold was built through the draft and won the Super Bowl?
100%.
Okay,
100%.
so why would you go away from that? So if you're talking about intake, and this is not an argument, but I would just say, like, as a point of reference, if you're talking about intake, like, well, they didn't do anything in free agency. Yeah, because that's not necessarily their model.
What do you think of the take?
I think that's not their model, right? When you think of the Seahawks model to building teams, it's drafting guys. I mean, well, this is the first time we have this version of the Seahawks team, right? With Mike McDonald having to decide, or with John having to decide who to pay out of this group, right? We saw it with Pete, and a lot of people when they text and say that was the demise of the whole Pete thing. We started paying guys. They got big-headed. I see this all the time when we talk about that team and why they split and the decline came eventually. But that happens with every single team. There's a decline at some point. You're not at the top forever. The Chiefs have gone through it. The Patriots gone through it. The Steelers have gone through it. Any team that's had success over the past 25, 30 years, or maybe just the history of the NFL, you're going to have those moments where decline happens, especially when free agency started back in the 90s or whatnot, and guys have decisions to make. So I think that they're staying true to who they are. And who they are right now is a team that I just contradicted myself. Because they want to run the ball, but you pay this receiver the highest contract in history.
Well, this drafted receiver.
Yeah, drafted receiver. But I think that they figured out who they want to invest in, and I think they feel like it's hard to find a JSN. It's hard to find a Rashid, even though you didn't get the production when it comes to throwing the ball that you wanted to. You know he's a big play waiting to happen. It's hard to find those type of guys. It's easier, in their minds, easier to find a replacement at running back or development edge. If you talk about Boye Mafe, Boye was a project. He didn't come in the league ready to go. Everything I read and I saw about Boye was that he hadn't played a lot of football, so you're going to have to develop this guy. What do? You develop him. He gets 6 sacks 1 year. 4 the next year. He's serviceable. I think they feel like they're good at finding those edge guys, those running backs, and developing them. But when you have a guy like JSN, you just don't let him go. If you had to choose who to keep out of, you pick one guy out of Kobe, Reek, Boye, K9, JSN. It's easy.
Yeah.
It's that easy.
I had the answer before you listed them.
Yeah, it's that easy. So you keep the guys you feel like are irreplaceable, and you develop in other spots.
I do want to throw on to Joel's take that in addition to building through the draft very successfully over the last several classes, this team has also been built by in-season trades. I think that's been like a really underrated.
Big Ray texted me about that too.
Not to Seahawks fans and not to people covering the team, but maybe nationally. John Schneider's success in the draft, like you look at Nick and Minwari or Witherspoon and JSN, and people are like, "Oh, he's nailing it," which that front office is. Like, props to their scouts and in the development staff, but also like those trades have been massive. Ernest Jones, Rashid Shaheed, DeMarcus was a free agent signing. Leo, thank you. Leonard Williams,
Ernest.
like all trades, midseason trades specifically. Just like a really good. I feel like Schneider seems to have a really good feel for which players might be available and building those relationships and getting those guys. They've knocked it out of the park there. I'll count that in with like drafting though, where you're not throwing money at a problem.
No.
We're throwing draft picks at it.
Throwing picks.
Slightly different approach. There's more from Joel Klatt. You can check it out on the Brock and Salk podcast. Let's ask a few more draft questions because we've got a couple more. To ESPN's Brady Henderson. He joins us next.
Wyman and Bob, every afternoon at 2.
We had the John Schneider show yesterday. He's in rarefied air, I think, with the fan base. He could pretty much make any move he wants, and the fans are going to go, okay, yeah, I'm on board.
There's one. Draft at number 32, draft a kicker. there we go. I think that's the only thing he could do.
Well, all of a sudden, that guy's booting 66-yarders on the regular, and people are going, see?
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Brock Ewart here with my buddy Shannon O'Kelly from IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. Shannon, we met about a decade ago when you came into the studio, and at that point, IRG was humming, but you were not 40 locations strong all over the neighborhood. How have you done this, and why?
Number one, Brock, great people. Our strength here at IRG is our people. Secondly, we are a company that has a culture of giving back and taking care of our patients, taking care of our team, and thirdly, taking care of our community. We want to be your family physical therapist. More importantly, we want to be your family's neighborhood physical therapist. We want you to come in, have a great experience, and get better and get out there and be pain-free and function.
Take care of your friends. Taking care of your neighbors, taking care of your community, and taking care of Western Washington. With over 40 locations now, that's exactly what IRG Physical and Hand Therapy is doing. Find them in person, find them online at irgpt.com. That's irgpt.com.
If you've gained 20, 30, or even 40 or more pounds over the past few years and nothing seems to work anymore, listen up. I'm Dr. Coogan with Eastside Weight Loss, and our completely medication-free program has helped thousands in Washington lose 20 to 30 pounds in just 60 days. No drugs, no weekly shots, no muscle loss, no side effects, no forever monthly costs, just food, but the right type, in the right amount at the right time. All part of a detailed plan with expert coaching every step of the way that helps you reset your metabolism and burn fat. Schedule your free phone consult at eastsideweightlossclinic.com.
Yeah, Mike Salk here, and Dr. Coogan is right. I can attest to losing 35 pounds with Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. It works. It's safer, less expensive than alternatives, with no injections or pills, and no scary side effects. Schedule a free consult and find out for yourself.
Over 4,000 people have lost 20 to 30 pounds or more in just 60 days. Come to our clinic in Kirkland or do our program from anywhere you live with our remote options. Schedule your free phone consult online at eastsideweightlossclinic.com.
Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and, of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
Got neighbors? Big Trees can help. This is Nancy Penrose, owner of Big Trees in Snohomish. If you've been considering planting trees to add privacy, look no further than Big Trees. Privacy trees fill in empty spaces, help to define property lines, and add curb appeal. Learn more about Big Trees' big supply of privacy trees at bigtreesupply.com.
Beauty, privacy, instantly. Big Trees.
Your reputation matters. That's why so many landscape professionals choose Gravely. You can save up to 20% on Gravely commercial mowers during the Gravely Mow the Distance sales event going on now through the 19th. Visit your local Gravely dealer today.
Lee Johnson Auto Family.
The best path at that point was to stop for the night, and you go home and take a breath. She came back in the morning and bought the car. She was way happier.
The LJ Way.
Progressive's Home Quote Explorer helps you easily find and buy the right coverage for you. It's everything you've always wanted. Well, I mean, as far as a website that lets you shop, quote, and buy insurance in one place. But hey, maybe that is everything you've always wanted. Yeah, people have different types of dreams. And if all you've ever been searching for is a website that helps you choose home insurance rates and coverage, boy, do we have great news about Progressive's Home Quote Explorer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
And Doug. There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means sitting front row at a comedy show.
Hey everyone, check out this guy and his bird. What is this, your first date?
Oh, no. We help people customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual together. We're married. Me to a human, him to a bird.
Yeah, the bird looks out of your league anyways.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners dropped game one of that series against the Padres yesterday. Brian Wu tagged with a loss, though he did become the third consecutive starter for the Mariners to go through 7 innings, so that's good. Bats were cooler in this one, though. Just 4 hits, all from Naylor, Arozarena, and Raley. Game 2 is today at 6:40 p.m. Pregame starts at 5:30 p.m. Emerson Hancock on the mound.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
ESPN's Brady Henderson joining us now on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Brady, how's it going?
It's going well. Yeah, how are you guys doing? Thanks for having me.
We're happy to have you, and perfect timing. We are 8 days away from the NFL draft. I can't believe it's already here. It's felt like an especially short offseason. A relatively quiet one for the Seahawks, but finally getting a chance to forecast what they might do. Brady, it felt like what I saw was a wave of, oh my God, they should totally go corner, and then a wave of they should absolutely go Jadarian Price. And then now we're getting to edge. I just think we're doing this in groups now. Is there a position group or one that's been convincing enough for you where you thought that does make the most sense? I think if they stick at 32, this move for them I like.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think there's a case to be made for any of those 3 positions. I mean, just from of course, it always depends on, who is still available at that spot or a few spots later, assuming they try to trade back from 32. I think the most interesting kind of conversation there is at running back, because I think a lot of people, a lot of draft analysts, and I'm guessing the Seahawks too themselves, would tell you that, there's a pretty big drop off from Jadarian Price as the second best running back in this draft behind obviously Jeremiah Love is going to be long gone by that point, but it's like a pretty big drop off from Jadarian Price to the next guy. So I think the question for the Seahawks is, if they don't take Price there, who knows, maybe he's gone by then too, but if it's not Price, could any of those other guys, or any of them good enough to come in and start right away for them? So I think that would be, not that they or other teams, not that they solely, go off of what their biggest need is, but I think that is their biggest need, and I think that is a pretty real question that they've got to ask themselves. That was a question that I think, we made our mock draft picks for our ESPN mock draft yesterday, and that was something I really wrestled with. I ultimately did not go with Jadarian Price, but I almost did based on that logic of, you still need a starting running back, and who is it going to be if it's not Price?
First, Brady, let me apologize for my performance on Monday.
No apology needed.
That was horrible golf. Brady did his thing, but your boy, woo!
What was
a struggle.
What'd you do?
Not even want to put that out there for the public.
Okay.
It was that bad.
Did it start with a 9?
It was that bad. Whatever you think.
Okay.
So Brady, every mock draft that I see, it's obviously running back is a big deal. But what about the edge? I mean, I'm still waiting to see what's happening with D-Law, contract with Uchenna. What do you feel like they're going to go that direction, or do you think that they like what's already there?
I think at some point in the draft, I think they will add an edge guy. Maybe not with the first pick. It seems to me like the edge guys, I don't know if there's going to be one at that spot. And look, I'm not by no means a draft expert. I'm by no means have a great feel for how it's going to go. I just kind of sort of sense that the edge guys that might really interest them, that would be more of a day 2 consideration. But that said, they've been linked, I think, I saw somebody had, Keldrick Falk, the big Auburn edge guy. I think Brock did a segment on him today. And he certainly seems like a late round 1 kind of guy. So maybe that is in play. It just seems like some of the other guys they've been taking a look at would be more like day 2 edge guys. And then, the question I would wonder about is what kind of edge guy are you looking? Are you looking for more of a big, power guy, which I think Falk is? And then are you looking for more of like the Boy Mafe speed type guy, which, that would probably be more what like our Mason Thomas is, the Oklahoma guy, who is incredibly quick, doesn't have like the, the size and the bulk to play early downs. And for that, like for him, that's why I don't think he would be in consideration late in round 1, just because I think don't know if he would be as complete of a player as they would want to spend that high of a pick on. But I think they're going to draft an edge guy because I think, like I said in the piece I wrote the other day, I think it's an immediate and a long-term need. I mean, Boy Mafe played well over 500 snaps last year, and I don't think you just ration those snaps out and say, okay, DeMarcus Lawrence at 33 years old, you're going to play 200 more snaps, and Uchenna Nwosu, who turns 30 in December, you're going to take 200 more, and you're going to give 100 more to Derek. Like, I think you got to add some guy to come in and be the 4th member of that, what was a pretty good 4-man rotation last season. And without Mafe, I don't think they're necessarily going to draft a speed guy there, but without Mafe, they don't really have that. I think they're missing some juice off the edge, just because I think Nwosu and Lawrence, not that they're unathletic and have no juice, but those are more like physical edge setting guys than they are, Mafe types, like the guys that, really excel at getting those quick wins.
Getting back to corner, Bumps talked a ton about San Diego State's Chris Johnson. And then there was this weird report where it's like, oh, did he bail on a 30 visit or not have it? And you confirmed earlier today that they didn't have the visit at all, like they didn't host him. Does that mean he's less likely to be in play at pick 32? Does it not matter at all? Does he seem like a fit for Seattle?
He did not visit. He did not bail on it. My understanding is there was never a visit planned. So, and the thing to keep in mind with visits is, when a team brings a player in for a visit, that certainly conveys interest in that player. But what it really also conveys is that they have a question that they need to get answered about that guy. At least if you're talking about sort of early middle round guys. Now, sometimes they'll bring in guys for visits that they want to end up signing as undrafted free agents, and they use the 30 visits as sort of like, recruiting trips in a sense. But, for guys like that, they bring those, for the earlier round guys, they bring them in because they want to answer a question about them, whether it's about, their makeup, like their personality, or if they want to, their doctors, their medical team to get a hand on them because they have some, medical question about them. So the fact that they did not bring in Chris Johnson for a visit, that might just mean that they sort of know who the guy is and they don't really have any questions about him. I would not interpret that at all as them not being interested in him. I think I'm not going to tell you who I picked in my mock draft because I don't want to ruin the surprise. But, suffice to say, I think that Chris Johnson is very much in play for them with their first pick.
Yeah, I love the film on Chris Johnson. I like the film on Mason Thomas, who you've mentioned already. Here's my sleeper. I don't even know if you've looked him up, B. Maybe you have, but I look at those guys who could be undrafted or maybe late in the draft. And Wesley Williams, edge out of Duke, does that ring a bell?
Apparently I've been spending too much time on the golf course and not enough time in the prospect rankings because I'll be honest with you, Bump. I got nothing for you.
No, he's and you know what, B? He's deep. So I don't expect you to go that deep. But how do you think that the Hawks, obviously they're looking at their 4 picks, they might flip it into more, but how important do you think the undrafted guys are going to be? They always seem to find somebody like that.
Yeah, and I mean, just look at the roster. I mean, look at how many of those guys ended up like sticking with them last year, undrafted guys, or just rookies in general. Probably fewer spots this year that are truly up for grabs. But when you have 4 picks, yeah, you're definitely going to be hitting the, undrafted free agency pretty hard. Now, that said, I still think they're going to end up with more than 4. I don't know that I've made this point, I think, on someone else's show before. I don't know that they love this draft enough to want to, do what they did in 2019 when I think that year they turned 4 picks into 11. And I don't think I see that happening, but I think I see them turning 4 picks into more than 4. And, it would not shock me if there is a trade, maybe even before the draft, maybe during the draft. Oluwatimi is a guy that I kind of wonder about his long-term future in Seattle. And, maybe you flip him for a day 3 pick. And again, maybe even during the draft, like they did with Sam Howell a couple years ago. I think they sent him to Minnesota. The Vikings, oddly enough, coincidentally enough, they need a center because their starter retired earlier this offseason. So that would be one guy to keep an eye on, is maybe a way for them to add to their pick total beyond just trading the picks themselves.
On an earlier episode this spring of the John Schneider Show, a new episode tomorrow at 4, by the way, John Schneider told Wyman and Bob when they were talking about the running back room, like, you can find these guys. And he wasn't trying to insult any of the guys on the roster, but I took it as implying, like, sometimes you have a UDFA that's a great guy. Sometimes you have a couple guys that give you a couple hundred, and you don't need, like, the best running back in the league. But I don't know. That's how I interpreted it. When you heard him say, like, sometimes you can find a guy, what did you make of it in terms of what their approach might be to that room?
What I made of it is that, he was sort of talking about, and I think it was either in that episode or another episode on with Bob and Dave, about how you shared a story about how, he was with the Packers and they found Ryan Grant as an undrafted free agent who ended up starting for them. And I think his point was, some positions there are just more available, like, viable players than others, and running back is one of those positions. Now, I sort of think that could get put to the test a little bit, at least in this draft, because, again, according to people who study this a lot more than I do, and probably I'm sure a good amount of teams would agree with this, is that this is not a great running back draft. And so I think both of those things can be true. They've talked about how much they like, the guys that they do have. And Mike McDonald said at the league meetings that, people are kind of sleeping on the talent that they do have with George Holani and Emmanuel Wilson. But I think both of those ideas can be true. I think it's also true that they still need a starter, because as much as, as high as they are on Holani and Wilson, I think they probably would view those guys more as like code number 2s. at least until Charbonnet comes back. And so I just think you need another guy, and probably ideally it would be a speed guy. And that's why Mike Washington Jr. is pretty intriguing. Ran a 4.33 at the combine with a pretty good 10-yard split and I want to say it was like a 39-inch vertical jump, something like that. So really, really good athlete. But again, what is the drop-off like from Price to, Mike Washington Jr. to Jonah Coleman, another guy I think they could be interested in? Like, what is the drop-off like? And are those guys beyond Price good enough to come in and start right away? When I say start, I don't mean, touch the ball 25 times every game. I just mean sort of filling that, maybe that kind of Ken Walker, the third role last year where, 15 carries or so a game and really kind of serve in, a number one role, but like in a timeshare kind of way.
Do you see a world where the Hawks bring in a receiver? I know you got to bring them in for camp, right? A bunch of undrafteds are probably going to come in there, but you think they spend a draft pick on the receiver, even though they got their top three? Jake Bobo's back. Just how do you see that position?
Yeah, I mean, again, depending on how many picks they end up with, it's I can't imagine that's anywhere near the top of their priority list. If you just look at some of the other needs, if they hadn't matched the offer that Jacksonville gave to Bobo, I would have said, yeah, it's probably a need for some size in that receiver core because, their top three guys are not small guys, but not big guys either. But with Bobo back, I think he sort of fills that, big blocking receiver type of role. So, it's always a position you see them bring in, a small handful of guys as undrafted free agents. So depending on how many picks they end up with, maybe a late round pick, but certainly some undrafted guys I would imagine end up being receivers.
Is there a group they've got that's maybe aging where you'd start to kind of I'm not talking about projecting for 2027, but you'd start to look at we wouldn't think it now, but it would make sense if they brought in a couple guys here.
Well, I mean, not one that we haven't talked about, but the D line. When you just look at DeMarcus Lawrence, 34, I believe, later this month. Leonard Williams is over 30. Jarrett Reed over 30. Nwosu, I think, is going to be 30 in December. And so, yeah, that is definitely a spot where, I could see them trying to get younger there. Mafe was not – he was sort of not young in terms of a guy coming off his rookie contract, but, that is Derek Hall was really, in terms of their edge guys, proven edge guys, I think they could stand to add a young guy there. And again, the question is it a speedy guy like Boye Mafe, or is it more of a Nwosu Lawrence type? And I sort of view Hall as being kind of something in between. He's, pretty similar size to DeMarcus Lawrence, and maybe not quite as quick as Mafe, but he does have some of that speed, and he's also a power guy. So, it doesn't have to be one extreme or the other, but I think they could use some guy with some speed off the edge.
Okay, so Brady, when is the mock? I know you probably do a couple, but when is the one that you're talking about coming out?
I want to say it is. I want to say it comes out Tuesday.
Okay, we will keep an eye out for it.
Play the jingle in your head in between now and then. The pick is in, and I'm sure you all could probably figure it out.
There we go. I'll announce it like it's by Brady Henderson too. I can't wait.
You can probably figure out based on what I've said in this interview, but yeah, the pick is in.
I think so, and if my guess is right and Bump's guess is right, it's a very intriguing one. ESPN's Brady Henderson, kind enough to join us to talk draft on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Thanks, Brady.
Thanks, B.
You got it. Thanks, guys. See you.
Let's get to 4 Down territory.
This is 4 Down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
Brady had to watch me play.
What happened on the course? Why are you apologizing?
I played in the last 3 or 4 because it was just bad, and we're on the same team.
Okay.
I let the team down.
Oh, I got it. So you were saying were you playing what's it called?
It's not Scramble.
Scrambles.
No, it was you play your own score, but then it was a pro-am, so everyone's collected. You said pennies?
I don't know why it made me think of pennies. I was thinking is it called quarters? What's it called?
Sure.
I don't know. Okay, so you were on a scramble and you were letting the team down.
It wasn't a scramble. It was just a team. And when I say I let the team down.
What happened to you? That's the second time.
I know. This last 2 rounds are the worst golf I played in 4 years probably.
Well, you and Salt got mad at me when I said what I'm not going to say.
What'd you say?
I said, do you have the yips? And then you guys
yeah.
said you're not allowed
Don't
to say that.
I said I have a glitch in the system right now. There's a glitch.
Okay, it's a better way to say it.
All right.
Another mock draft out today. This one from Sports Illustrated earlier. We talked about ESPN and the New York Times. This one has the Seahawks taking Zion Young. What should we know about him?
You know what you should know? He has long arms.
His
long arms.
His longs,
Those longs are arms.
His longs
Stop it.
are
They're going to use
arms.
this for a cut, okay? I got to get this right
Matt,
this time.
Do not stop
I got to get this
playing
right this time.
Play it at your Bears outside.
They're going to use this though. I got to get this one right.
Play it
okay?
at your leisure.
Here we go. Those longs are arms. All right, enough. They're going to use this, Matthew. I got to get it right.
Does he have long arms?
All right. He has long arms, Stacy.
Okay.
Long arms. He can touch you from across the street.
Wow.
It makes life difficult for these tackles, man. He's a run specialist. He will stop that run. All right, he's 6'6", 262 pounds, 16 tackles for losses, 6.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. My description of him is a King Corso, but a puppy. They're
terrifying.
big. They're still walking around. Every now and then they'll open up, but you see, like, when that King Corso fills out, he's going to be a problem. He's already filled out. Now it's about just coordinating all that stuff. He has violent hands, and when he punches the offensive lineman, it's like an uppercut, man. He uses his leverage, gets underneath those pads. I'm seeing the helmet pop up. He's violent, but you still see he's got more to do, more to learn. I really like Zion Young, 6'6", 262 pounds with long arms.
Arms are long.
Those longs are arms.
Oh, longs are arm.
You're really jacking up my video right now.
I know, that's what makes it so funny.
No, I need this because I'm going to be gone the next 2 days. It fulfills my... Goodness gracious. I needed this.
It's better this way.
No. Now I got to go do more videos. Those longs are armed.
Second
You know
down.
what, Matthew? I got you. I got you.
He's going to get you back, I
For
fear.
real.
He's going to get you back. I don't know what it's going to be, but he'll do
Don't
it.
even trip. You won't even expect it.
Uh-oh. From a listener, when you were talking about Jadarian Price in the beginning of the show, they said, Bump, why not just go with Kenny McIntosh? I think he's going to be a stud this year.
You can't go with Kenny McIntosh, but we haven't seen him recently. I loved him out of Georgia. I think he has big playability, but I'd rather go with someone who we've seen go to work recently. And last year, we saw Price get loose. He was behind the best running back, probably the best prospect in the draft this year, yet he still had over 10 touchdowns, runs a 58, 30-something, and all that good stuff, man. I think Kenny should get a chance. I think when you go into camp, Kenny and George should be in the front of the pack. They've been here. They know this offense for the most part, new coordinator. They know the system and what is expected of them. But you bring in that rookie to compete. If he is there at 32, I think you roll with him. But I do think that you give Kenny McIntosh some love.
Third down. Recently, an Oregon coach said that if a recruit can't decide quickly between chocolate and vanilla ice cream, he doesn't want them. Questions that decision-making.
Yeah.
What's your similarly ridiculous take?
Yeah, it's a ridiculous take, but I believe in it. Sometimes you believe in things that are ridiculous. And if you are a quarterback and you spend some time in the league and you are not a decent golfer, I can't trust you.
Okay, yes.
I cannot trust you.
That's ridiculous.
Every quarterback I've played with, except for one, is a good golfer. Okay, I've played in lots of these celebrity tournaments where I'm the D-lister. And I just kind of blend in. I go to the Seahawks and like, who's this? Like, oh, hey, I'm Michael. Seattle Sports. Played a couple years.
I'm Michael.
Hey, I like sports. And I'm playing with these guys who have all this money and time during the offseason to just get their game right. And if you are a quarterback and you cannot play decent golf, I don't know if I can trust you, man. Quarterbacks and kickers are the best golfers on the team.
I realized I forgot to ask you who the quarterback was.
Yeah.
Okay, can't forget. Fourth down. Who's an undrafted or late round pick that you like for the Seahawks?
Yeah, that's I just asked B about him. It's Wesley Williams out of Duke. They say he has short arms, average speed, but he's the guy to where the measurables aren't going to grab your eye. You got to watch the film and to see how he plays, right? Gets into the backfield, he's slippery, good pad level. He's a disciplined defensive lineman, and he plays with a passion that reflects the way these guys play right now. So, yeah, Wesley Williams. He might not be drafted, probably won't be drafted. Could be an undrafted guy, but you find those diamonds in the rough. We've been saying it all day, right? With 4 picks, which we hope they turn into, 5 or 6, you're going to have to find these diamonds in the rough. And it's hard to do because people say it all the time. Oh, just go find a diamond in the rough. It's rare that undrafted guys have the career that Doug Baldwin had. You know, it's just rare. It's tough to do. Guys get drafted for a reason. And, yeah, Wesley Williams out of Duke, team captain, like this kid.
Short arms, though.
What'd I say?
Would you say his shorts are arms?
Oh, I thought you said I messed that up, too. I'm like, Matthew already jacked up the video that I'm trying to put together for the people downstairs.
Here's the thing. While you bring excellent analysis, the bumpisms are so repeatable that, like, we appreciate all the analysis you have, but I will at least twice today say his longs are armed.
Yes,
Like,
those longs are armed.
I'm going to say that. I'm going to look at Lukey and his long legs, and I'm going to say, those longs are armed. I can't help it. It's fun to say.
I'm glad today's my last day, man. I'm getting out of here, man.
How dare you?
I'm getting out of here.
Someone said, were you calling it a King Corso? It's a cane Corso. I don't remember what you called it.
I don't remember either.
They're scary dogs, though. I don't like those dogs. They seem like dogs that would make you flinch, like on purpose. They, you know what I mean? Do like a little bit of like a jump at you.
My buddy breeds these dogs.
They're terrifying.
They're called King and Kings. You call them both.
I gotta call them a King Corso.
Yeah.
But they're very scary, and I don't like them, and I wouldn't want to share a house with one. No disrespect to anyone who has one. They just look. They look like they lift. Like they look like they're at the gym.
Lift.
They don't skip leg day. They don't skip arm day. They don't skip any of the days.
They don't skip meals either.
They don't skip meals. Like that's. Man, I'll just stick with Luke.
You couldn't walk that dog. It would drag you down the street.
Truly. You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. What I need to know coming up in about 20 minutes. Get your questions in. 866-979-3776. Something we learned earlier in our conversation about the Mariners with Jordan Shusterman and Trevor May. Sticking with us. That's next.
Wyman and Bob, every afternoon at 2.
We had the John Schneider show yesterday. He's in rarefied air, I think, with the fan base. He could pretty much make any move he wants, and the fans are going to go, okay, yeah, I'm on board.
There's one. Draft at number 32, draft a kicker. there we go. I think that's the only thing he could do.
Well, all of a sudden, that guy's booting 66-yarders on the regular, and people are going, see?
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
When I go to a dealership, I don't want to be pushed into buying something. Sometimes I just want to look around, test drive, and check out new features. When I went to Wayscar Ford in Auburn, they got that. There was no pressure. It actually turned out to be a fun experience because they were genuinely excited to show me the cool features on newer models. They only want to sell you a car if you actually want to buy one. The thing I want most is to be able to trust the person I'm working with. A new car is a huge investment. I have to be honest. I don't know a ton about cars, but I do know it's the second largest thing next to a house that most people will ever buy. So yes, I want to make sure I'm buying from a reputable place. I want a warranty, and I want to make sure I'm covered if for any reason I change my mind. Wayscar Ford has that. A 5-day or 500-mile, no questions asked, 100% money-back guarantee. There's a reason they've been in Auburn for 104 years. Go see them. Wayscar Ford in Auburn. That's wayscarford.com.
Spring is a perfect time to make improvements that protect and add value to your home. Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. For decades, homeowners across the Pacific Northwest have trusted our team for roofing, siding, windows, and custom decking. This spring, save up to $3,000, or qualified homeowners can take advantage of zero down, zero payments, and zero interest up to 24 months. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule your free estimate.
If you're building decks in Puget Sound this season, you need materials you can trust and a supplier who delivers. Par Lumber carries premium TimberTech and Trex composite decking, railing, and accessories contractors depend on across the Northwest. With reliable job site delivery, we keep your projects moving so you can keep building. Right now, get 20% off deck railing and lighting with any TimberTech or Trex deck board purchase for a limited time only at Par. Visit par.com/decking to learn more. Par, where the builders go.
Well, spring is all about getting ready for summer, isn't it? Hey, Brock Heward here, and working out in your own home, well, it is the best. We've been doing so for years, and you can allow Top Fitness to create your own home gym. And right now, get spring special financing with 0% interest for 12 months, plus mention me and receive an $150 credit towards any purchase over $1,000. Spring is here, so go get into Top Fitness with locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or simply visit topfitness.com for more info.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Total Wellness at Home is here. Save up to $2,800 on a saltwater hot spring spa and enjoy healthy, relaxing soaks. Save up to $12,000 on an endless pool swim spa for a year-round retreat. These massive savings end April 30th.
A bases clearing, 3-run double by Josh Naylor. Holy smokes!
Are you planning an event in 2026? Make it unforgettable at T-Mobile Park. Mariners suites and group tickets are perfect for any occasion. Fundraisers, school outings, work parties, family celebrations, and more. Enjoy customizable catering, flexible setups for 14 to 400 people, and epic game day views, all with the help of a dedicated Mariners rep. Get ahead and start planning your event today at mariners.com.
Mariners and Padres tonight in San Diego. First pitch at 6:40. Pregame at 5:30. Hear every pitch live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
It's a brave face we put on. We never want to be any trouble. But you know, getting older isn't all smiles and birthday parties. Sometimes it's facing the fact that we are aging. And you know what? That can be pretty hard. If you need a little support or just want to talk to someone, 988 is here for you. It's free and it's confidential. Call 988 anywhere, anytime. A message from the Washington State Department of Health.
No matter how old you get, you always remember that one great teacher. Hi, this is Rick Riz, inviting you to join WSECU in celebrating Teacher of the Week. Great teachers inspire. Nominate a teacher you feel has changed a life in our community. This year, we're going to honor 24 great teachers with grants of $500, courtesy of WSECU, the credit union for Washington. Teachers are the real MVPs. Nominate an exceptional teacher now at mynorthwest.com/teacher.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
What I need to know coming your way in 15 minutes. Get your question, any question, in now to the text line, 866-979-3776. I like this first question. It doesn't have to be about sports at all, but I like this one saying, no, for real, what is good pad level, though? We'll get to that. I wanted to get back to some of our favorite cuts from two guests that we had to talk about the Mariners today. It's still so early, and so much of what you're trying to figure out with your team is just kind of who they are. And the frustrating thing is they could beat the Padres 14-1 today, and it still wouldn't, completely tell you who they are as a team. It's so early. But we can start asking people who know a lot about baseball, a lot of baseball questions. So starting with Jordan Shusterman, we asked him a bit about what he's seen from Naylor to start the season.
With Josh Naylor, it's not a matter of strikeouts, right? It's a matter of actually impacting the pitches that he can do damage on, because he can make contact. The problem is he's just making a lot of bad contact. He is someone that will chase outside of the strike zone, and it seems like the pitchers are kind of finding ways to get him to just swing at bad pitches and roll over weakly or pop out. And that's a different kind of genre of poor offense that is not particularly fun to watch. It's very different than Cal and Julio striking out a million times, but it's also frustrating and can contribute to kind of some offensive slump.
I thought that was interesting, just kind of summarizing, we might uniformly say, your big bats, the middle of the order, are struggling, but they're struggling in very different ways.
Yeah, he's getting he's not doing damage on the pitches he's hitting. He's not barreling that thing up and hitting hard, right? So when he had that game, we had the two bombs. Imagine having that feeling right? I don't know if you've ever hit a baseball before, Stacey, and you hit it on the sweet spot. You don't even feel that thing.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I've never had a baseball
Curtis.
in my life.
You know that feeling where you square a baseball up. You don't even feel it hit the bat. You don't even feel it.
You're talking to the wrong person
It
here.
jumps off the bat. You feel nothing.
Yes.
That's the feeling that these guys are searching for. So when he had it, when Naylor hit those 2 bombs, he had that feeling like, oh, there it is.
Yeah.
There it is. So, yeah, if anything, you could be hitting line outs. As long as you have that feeling, you're hitting the sweet spot. Mentally, like my timing's on point, my technique is on point. I just got to keep this swing.
But see, you guys know the feeling when you kick off a wall in like a sprint, like a 50-meter freestyle.
Never done it in a competition.
You just glide under that water and
Never
you know
done
you're
it.
ahead. I'm not a sprinter, so I don't actually know that feeling. I do know a flip turn. We also talked with Trevor May. He had really good stuff. I loved the conversation about catching. Like, we talked about Cal, but then it was a broader conversation about like modern catchers and like where trade-offs need to happen. So I liked these parts of it. He wonders if Cal will eventually need to start making some trade-offs, right? Like, you can't be excellent at throwing everyone out and also this and also that, because it is wear and tear on your body.
I just think it's like to the point where he does so much that some things are going to suffer from fatigue, or you have to kind of let certain things go. It's kind of like in the catcher, we've seen catchers change by putting their knee down to save their knees a little bit, save a little bit more energy through the game, and also get that lower pitch to frame. Like, that was a kind of 2 motivations to make that change. It was a trade-off. And I think that maybe as he gets a little older and plays a lot more, because he plays a lot of games and he DHs when he's not catching, that there's going to be these trade-offs that start to happen where he's like, you know what, I'm okay if I don't throw every single person out, or I'm okay if I don't grab every strike, because I need to be able to swing a bat because I'm exhausted. And then they go deep and they played every possible game they could have played in the playoffs as well. So they went so deep and then he went and played in the WBC. Like, at some point you're going to become a tired guy.
So I'm wondering what things he might end up prioritizing, I guess. You know, are we going to see a Cal that really focuses on throwing guys out this year? Or is he going to be a Cal that's okay with kind of like this defensive indifference? Like, look, we have other priorities.
I think Cal is not okay with being average at anything.
No.
You know, I think his goal, he said it, it's on record, his goal was to be better at throwing guys out at second.
Yeah.
I'm sure he would love to hit 60 bombs again. He's not going to do that, but let's get 35 to 40 of those things. I think Cal is the type of person that looks at his game overall, and he has to, because he has to do the most on this baseball team, right? Deal with 5 or 6 different starting pitches and the bullpen. You're calling the game. You are responsible for driving in runs. You're hitting lefty, righty. You are a DH some days. So, yeah, it's I guess you got to have short-term goals and kind of focus on certain things at certain times. I guess the part of your game that isn't hitting the way that you want it to hit. But end of the day, he's trying to be all around, good at everything.
He is a great framer, and we talked about a couple things that are changing with baseball with I was going to say the implementation of ABS. With ABS at the major league level, and we focused on catchers as well with that. Here's what he said about the ABS and how it's impacted Cal.
And I think that Platinum Glove year, it was a little bit of an outlier, because one thing Cal does really well, he's a big guy. He could steal strikes at the top of the zone. He did that really well that year. He was the best in the league at doing it. That strike is gone. Like, no one calls it anymore. It went away last year when the umpires were trying to change and getting ready for ABS. And now all the guys that were good at grabbing the high strike aren't good at it anymore. And that's where his defense, I mean, metrically has just fallen off. As that high strike went away, which was something he was just far and away better than everyone in the league at.
I thought that was really interesting. Just being like this tool that he had, this ability he had, like ABS has taken it away. That's not Trevor saying that pitch framing can no longer happen. Like, no, you only have 2 challenges. You can still steal some strikes, but like the stealing it at the top of the zone and then, I don't know.
Nobody could call his bluff back in the day.
Well,
now you tap that helmet.
Right, and they're just watching it very differently.
Yeah,
so.
It's a different part of the game. But, yeah, you're right. You only have 2 of them things. Well, you can have more if you keep getting them right. But that's an angle of the ABS that I hadn't really thought of, because but it's
affecting
it's obvious,
catchers,
right? Catchers,
because
catchers be fooling. I remember the first time I saw a catcher frame, I was in Little League, and I played for the Cardinals, and we're playing against the Dodgers. And I saw this catcher, and I mean, the ball was high, and he snatches it and brings it down, blue colors strike, and I was appalled. I'm like, he's cheating. Like what? I'm like in 5th grade. What's he doing? He's cheating. And my coach is like, no, that's a good catcher right there. So that's Cal. He can't cheat like he used to anymore, I guess.
He also talked about Cal and Julio and what the offense is looking like right now.
I'll be honest. This has been a critique, I think, of them for as long as I can remember, but especially last few years, especially with some successes, the offense can get a little bit anemic at times and streaky. Streaky is the word I like to use because it's the producers in this lineup tend to be streaky, namely, Cal Raleigh and Julio Rodriguez. When they're hot, they are the best hitters on the game, and when they are cold, they are the opposite. So I think that's something we are seeing.
Yeah, he might have been consistent in like home run production monthly, but he's a streaky hitter, and so is Julio. Julio more of like a cold start then hot. Cal more of like a hot cold. But it's Trevor's right. Like these are the types of hitters that are kind of central to what you're doing offensively. So I wouldn't be shocked if they're cold right now in April.
Everyone gets cold in this game. Like everyone goes through their cold spells. I'm trying to look at last year. I know batting average, blah, blah, simple stat, right? But last year, Aaron Judge led the league in average. Damn, I didn't realize he was doing like that. I should have. Yeah, I do actually remember. And there were times where he was cold. There were times where he went 0 for. I'm trying to find him right now. It was like 4 games where he just didn't do anything. So, yes, but some are more streaker than others. And some cold streaks affect teams differently. Someone on the Dodgers being cold.
Right.
Don't worry about it. He'll be fine. We'll work this out.
Right.
Your dogs on the Mariners getting cold, you perk up a little bit because you realize that they're a bit more valuable to their team individually than other players are. So that's why when these two get cold, people start scratching their head a bit.
I'm still optimistic about the rest of this series. Curtis, you felt like this was a winnable series, and that's not meant to disrespect the Padres' very elite pitching staff. Yeah. Quite literally a winnable series, but also you were like, this isn't a bad Mariners team against suddenly great pitching. This is a good Mariners team with streaky hitters that are facing elite hitting, but the Padres aren't without their flaws either.
Right, and you've also got a Padres team. You look at their lineup, I mean, it's not guys who are hitting the way the Astros lineup was hitting coming into that series. You don't have like a Yordan Alvarez or a Jose Altuve OPSing over 1,000. Like Fernando Tatis doesn't have a home run yet this season. Ramon Laureano is like their best hitter right now, which usually is not going to be the case in June or July or August. So the Padres, I think, are a pretty good, almost kind of facsimile of what the Mariners could be if the Mariners, had a couple of wins go their way that they just didn't. I mean, we've talked about it. The Angels series, there were winnable games in that series. The Texas series as well. Like, if any of those games go the other way, the Mariners, instead of being 8-10 right now, we're probably 10-8, 11-7.
Yeah, and we're having a very different conversation. It's them and the Twins.
Always thinking about the Twins.
Always thinking about the Twins. Twapril. It's what I need to know. Get your questions in 866-979-3776.
You can stream every pitch of every inning of every game all season long. Oh, and it's completely free.
It's a tremendous catch.
Only on the Seattle Sports app. That's right. The free Seattle Sports app puts every single Mariners game right in the palm of your hand.
On a platter, come and get it.
One app, every game. Plus the latest Mariners news, insider access, video, and podcast.
Holy smokes, what a play.
Pretty awesome, right? Just like the Mariners.
After years of football and the injuries that go with it, my first thought was always go get surgery. Hey, it's Dave Wyman, but after a consultation with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine, my eyes were open to an alternative to surgery, and I'm talking about stem cell therapy. Well, and my buddy and co-host Bob Stelton, also in pain, and decided to go see Dr. Wagner.
I had a hip issue from 14 years of jiu-jitsu.
How's the pain now?
Everything I did before, I can do just as well. Hitting the heavy bag, sparring, rolling, all of that is back in play. This whole thing has been such a pleasant surprise because I really was of the mindset, I'm going to have to go under the knife. I'm going to have to get surgery. And this really saved me from that. I could not be happier with the results.
Whether it's a hip like Bob had, a shoulder, a knee, a wrist, an ankle, before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine.
Do it. You will not regret it.
Hey, get the facts, hear from all the patients I've talked to, and schedule your consultation at drmarkwagner.com. drmarkwagnermd.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. John always listens to his truck. So when his brakes start talking, he goes to AutoZone, where a helpful AutoZoner gets him the right parts. If John has time to put them in, he borrows a kit with Loan-A-Tool. And if he doesn't, he gets a free shop referral. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Deposit required for Loan-A-Tool. Restrictions apply.
Hey, Mom, now that I have an after-school job, I think I want to buy a drum kit.
Okay, Rockstar. Let's look at your account. When kids start making money, Chase has easy-to-use tools and expert bankers to help them learn how to manage it.
And next month, I'll buy the bass drum and the cymbals. Oh, and maybe some noise-canceling headphones for you.
Aw, you've thought of everything. Help kids save, budget, and build financial independence, all with Chase. That's good for kids and good for parents. Visit your local Chase branch and get started.
Account subject to approval. J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Hour and a half drive here. To have fun here for 8 to 9 hours a day versus if it's the other way around, then I'll take it.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Rick Riz here for the Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington's Improve Your Play program. Many of our local youth sports teams need help with field enhancements, training, and equipment. Local Pella owners Keith Dashafy and Luke Wilson are stepping up to donate $5,000 to 2 deserving teams. We need your help finding them. Head to seattlesports.com/play to nominate a deserving team in need. Let's help our local youth improve their play this year with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Contest and rules at seattlesports.com/play.
You can count on the Seattle Times for local news and information on your teams and your scores. Get inside the game and go beyond the stats with game summaries, player interviews, and play-by-play analysis every day. Read our coverage at seattletimes.com/sports.
Hello, Seattle. Bank of America, in partnership with Visa, invites you to a FIFA World Cup 26 watch party. Open an eligible Bank of America checking account in participating financial centers only for an opportunity to reserve 2 complimentary tickets while supplies last. Experience special musical guests, games, giveaways, food, and more, all at a legendary venue. Learn more at BofA.com/BofA Visa Watch Party. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be the official bank of FIFA World Cup 26. Bank of America, N.A. member FDIC. Terms apply. All rights reserved.
Mariners and Padres tonight in San Diego. First pitch at 6:40. Pregame at 5:30. Hear every pitch live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
On top of home and auto, Progressive protects your boat, RV, and motorcycle so you can explore the unknown.
Actually, we just take the RV to the same campground every year.
Well, maybe you can catch your own dinner on your boat.
Oh, we can actually get pizza delivered there from this brick oven place we love.
Will you at least try a new topping?
Honestly, probably not. We kind of have a go-to order.
Fine. Just bundle home or auto insurance with your outdoor vehicles with Progressive and stay protected when you go, I guess, where you've gone before. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
Drivers who switch their home and auto with Progressive could save money and time. Other things try to do this, but they really don't. Like the touchscreen at fast food places. It's not like you save time because it takes you longer to use a touchscreen than, I don't know, someone who works there. And another thing, you'd think it would save money because they're not paying a cashier, right? But no, same price. Also, why is there an option to tip? Who am I tipping? Exactly. Anyway, even if you can't save money and time with some things, you could with a Progressive home and auto bundle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states or situations.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Any question you have top of mind right now, text it. 866-979-3776. It's what I need to know. I actually like this one. We have non-sports and sports questions. I'm starting with the sports one. I like it when people ask questions where someone out there is going to go, why don't you know this? But it's like, I'm just asking, man. They said, okay, but what exactly is good pad level, really? Just like lower than your opponent?
Essentially, lowest man wins. You learn that from Pee Wee football. If you are high, you will die. You got to get low. And so when you have a 6'5" guy at the edge, who we just talked about, who Zion Young, and he's able to go up against a tackle who's typically 6'4" to 6'5", and get underneath his chin.
Because of those long arms.
Right? And I tell my kids when I train them in any sport, a 45-degree angle is like the best angle in sports. You're shooting a ball, you get it down, you have to come in at 45 degrees. Pad level 45 degrees. When you run, you want your strike for the hit at 45 degrees. Just get 45 is what I tell them.
What I need to know, is it okay to go on a trip solo when you're married with kids, minus the guy's golf trip or girl's wine tasting trip?
Like by yourself?
So I think they're saying, is it okay to just like go, be like, I want to go on a road trip to see the Grand Canyon?
With the boys?
I think it's
no,
weird.
just on your own.
Bluntly,
no one there.
I think it's weird.
I wouldn't want to do that.
Not only would I not want to do it, why are you going without me?
No,
what if it's at his like wife's insistence?
No, you can do stuff without me. You can go on a guy's trip, but solo.
Yeah, solo is different.
Solo.
If I'm not going with the guys, I'm going with my girl.
That's what this listener is saying, though. They're saying
it's okay if it works for your relationship, but I see no fun in that.
Yeah, it's just, don't you want to, the whole point? I mean, a lot of people are in partnerships for a lot of reasons, but one of them is like, that's your person to explore life with, your companion.
Yeah.
I also just think like, it would be weird to me.
It would be weird.
Like, why are you going by yourself?
Yeah.
I don't know. And maybe I'm being closed-minded.
I mean, if it works for you, you go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't do it. I'm taking my lady if I ain't with the boys.
What I need to know. I just signed a sponsorship deal for the Bump Stacy Show. It includes significant salary increases for everyone except for Matt, who does the show for love and not money. My only stipulation is that you cannot talk sports. So what's the format of the new show?
It's pop culture.
Yeah, like
it's
celebrity gossip. I think.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
That's something that more people like talking about than they think.
Yeah.
You know?
We'd go in that Diana situation even more.
Someone asked if we've talked about it today, and I was endlessly.
Like 3 segments, probably.
It is like, it's not necessarily being a gossip, though it is gossip. It's also that it sparks a lot of other conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And like, sorry, but there are conversations to be had about NFL insiders. There's conversations to be had about what's appropriate workplace behavior. There's conversations about what the heck actually happened, because Diana's letter of resignation is kind of vague. This is 2 very big names in sports.
Yeah, it's involving the head coach of the AFC champion. This guy was in the Super Bowl 2 months ago.
Someone said me and my girlfriend broke up, so I flew to Hawaii to play golf and stay there 7 days. It was crazy, way different. Yeah, solo trips.
That was probably good, though, coming off a breakup, just to get away from it all, go to a relaxing place.
I'm getting some pushback. 509 says introverts always go places by themselves. First of all, I'm an introvert, according to my 16 personalities personality test.
Okay.
I was an INFJ. But also, more importantly, Matt looks so annoyed. I'm sorry.
You keep saying you're an introvert, and just saying that doesn't make you an introvert.
I took the test. It was a blind test. I could see the answers, but like I took it, and that's the answer I got. But what I'm saying is, I completely understand wanting to do things by yourself, but when you're in a relationship, Curtis, if you told Brenna, "Hey, I'm just gonna go on a road trip to Sacramento and back," would she
there
not?
There would be questions, yeah. Now, I will say this: like, Brenna was gone for a lot of football season, traveling with the Seahawks. She actually did give me, coming up in the summertime, a weekend away by myself, which I think that's different because that was gifted to me. That was not me saying, like, I want to get out of here for a week.
That's what it is.
That's a little bit different.
It's
but
like
she was like, hey, as a thank you for going above and beyond your regular duties as a dad, I got you a couple days away.
Bump. This one is for you. Fox Sports is proposing a trade where the Seahawks send this year's 3rd-round pick and next year's 5th to the Jets for Breece Hall. I'd take it in a New York minute. What about you?
This year's 3rd.
This year's.
Next year's 5th.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd do it.
Yeah.
I'd do it.
I don't think the Jets would do that.
Yeah. No, I don't think they would either.
Oh. You have to immediately figure out a contract, obviously, get that tag off. This person's right. Seeing a movie, totally fine. Going to Vegas by yourself, weird. Thank you.
Yeah. Weird.
And I'm talking if you're in a relationship, not just if you're solo. Let's see. It's WrestleMania. Curtis, now one for you. It's WrestleMania weekend.
Right.
What's your favorite WrestleMania?
I mean, recent years, I would say WrestleMania 30. That was the one where Undertaker lost for the first time at WrestleMania, and then Daniel Bryan was the heavyweight champ. I actually got to talk to Seth Rollins about his great WrestleMania moment. I think that was WrestleMania 31. It was either 29 or 31 where he cashed in Money in the Bank and won the heavyweight title. So that was cool getting to talk to him about it. Like I remember watching that on TV and being like, man, that must be so cool. And then here he is right next to me.
866-979-3776. What I need to know. They're putting grass down for the World Cup.
It's already down. I was there last night.
They said, would you keep the grass?
I would love to keep the grass. Players will love to keep the grass. Trust me.
Is there any risk or drawback? I know it's more expensive.
You get less non-contact injuries on grass because the way it responds, like it gives. The turf sometimes you stick and you twist and that. That's what happened. Look at Shusterman, how he got hurt. He was twisting, that foot just got stuck in the ground. Gone.
I don't think they're going to keep it grass.
No.
Why do so many stadiums not?
Easier to maintain.
It's just cheaper.
Yep.
You don't have to mow it.
Yeah. Let's see. It's just people explaining where they went by themselves. 866-979-3776. What I need to know. We had one I didn't quite know how to answer. They said, what's the season look like if Torrey Horton never got hurt and we don't sign Shaheed? I don't know.
I don't know. That's hard.
I don't know.
That's hard.
I'm not sure. I prefer those. Here's the thing. The Seahawks had the best possible outcome for the season. I always think those are more interesting when it's like, what happens if they don't take Paul Richardson and instead take Devontae Adams? Not that Richardson was like a total bust. He was a second rounder, wide receiver 3.
Yep.
But those are way more fun. When it's like a sliding door moment of like, what would have happened?
Yeah.
But the answer, it just worked out. Great. Best possible outcome to the season for Seattle. Wyman and Bob coming up next.
Those longs are armed.
No, aren't foxes bears? Aren't bears outside?
Hand dandled. You can die when you're dead. Nighttime, dark time.
Wyman and Bob, every afternoon at 2.
We had the John Schneider show yesterday. He's in rarefied air, I think, with the fan base. He could pretty much make any move he wants, and the fans are going to go, okay, yeah, I'm on board.
There's one. Draft at number 32, draft a kicker. there we go. I think that's the only thing they could do.
Well, all of a sudden, that guy's booting 66-yarders on the regular, and people are going, see?
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with 0 investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
We've all been there, sleepless nights, wondering if your business's security service is really protecting what matters. At Bay Alarm, we can put your security insecurities to bed. Our advanced technology and personalized support ensure you can rest easy knowing we're here for you. BayAlarm.com.
Upgrade your comfort and cut energy costs with Lake Washington Windows. Get 20% off energy-efficient windows and doors, plus $1,000 off whole home projects. Enjoy 18 months, no payments, no interest. Schedule your estimate by April 15th at lakewashingtonwindows.com.
Hi, Chuck here at Frank Lumber The Door Store. One of our most popular services is our match-up service, where we use your old door as a template to create a new door in your existing frame. Whether you need an interior or exterior door, this is a great way to change out your doors DIY style. And as long as we have what you need in stock, we currently have available space without a long wait for our same-day match-up service. Please visit us in Shoreline, where there's plenty of good parking. Also, check us out online at franklumber.com.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here. For my friends at People Come First, you've heard me talk about them. PCF Construction Group. People come first. And if you've been dreaming of a new deck, well, now is the time to call PCF before the good weather arrives and their schedule gets all filled up. With a new deck, patio cover, heater, and fireplace from PCF, you can enjoy your outdoor space year-round, no matter the weather. And for a limited time, get 50% off demolition costs. That's up to $5,000 when you book your project with PCF. Contact People Come First Construction Group for all the details. You know, they designed and built our outdoor living space, and we loved it. Start planning and designing your dream deck now so you're ready to build this summer. Planning, permitting, construction, they take time. So don't wait another day. Get started today. Get project ideas, browse their amazing photos, and find all the offer details at PCFgroup.com. That's PCFgroup.com.
Making your outdoor space with People Come First.
Hey guys, Matt Coker here with West Coast Men's Health. If you're dealing with ED, I know what happens. You start trying the Miracle Supplement online or those pills sitting next to the energy drinks at the corner store. If there's one thing I've learned in life, cheaper is rarely better. ED and Peyronie's disease are a major problem with few real solutions. You don't need a gas station pill. You need medical-grade technology to fix your problems. At West Coast Men's Health, we use acoustic wave therapy to treat the root cause. No pills, no shots, no surgery. Real equipment, real staff, and real results. Stop wasting money on things that don't work. It's time to end the frustration and the long nights. So whether you have ED, Peyronie's disease, or low T, we can help. Call West Coast Men's Health today.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy and peptide therapy. Call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Pet owners and parents know the struggle. Every time dogs or kids go outside, they track mud right back in. If you're tired of scrubbing floors, you need Muddy Mat, the anti-mud mat that cleans paws and shoes before they ruin your home. Only Muddy Mat features thousands of ultra-soft microfibers that are 5 times more absorbent than ordinary mats, instantly trapping dirt and water to protect your floors. Put it by every door, under pet bowls, in the kitchen for spills. It even makes a perfect bath mat, and it's 100% machine washable, so cleanup is effortless.
Since getting Muddy Mat, I don't worry about what my dog gets into. His paws are clean the second he steps off.
No more mopping. I love it. Thank you, Muddy Mat.
Right now, get a free medium Muddy Mat with your order of 2 or more mats at buymuddymat.com. This offer is only available at buymuddymat.com. That's BUYMUDDYMAT.com. Don't wait. Get your free Muddy Mat today at